What's going on, guys? It is Friday, August 19th, the day before UFC 278. Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards 2 is the main event, but this is going to be my UFC 278 pre-fight stream. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I was wishing somebody on Instagram, Derek, a happy birthday. Happy birthday again, Derek. I was literally just about to hit go live, and he called me back on the video call after he had called me before. And so I called him back, was talking to him for a few minutes, and then I realized I had something stuck in my teeth. So then after I talked to him, I had to go floss my teeth real quick, and now I'm back. I am back. We are live. We do a live stream before every pay-per-view. The Friday before every pay-per-view, we do a live stream. We're going to talk about all my predictions. I have prediction videos for all three of the big fights on UFC 278. But we're also going to go through my Tapology. I'm going to give you my full card picks. These are picks that I haven't necessarily deeply researched, but it is what it is. I'm going to go through, give you my full card picks so you guys can know. There's always people complaining, what's your full card picks? What's your full card picks? So I'm going to give you my full card picks on this stream. And usually when we do the pre-fight streams, I go for about 2 hours or so. So this may be a 2-hour stream. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how many people join on this Friday. The channel is popping off lately. Every video is going over 1,000 now. I mean, that's been close to that for a bit, but all the videos have been doing very well. And I'll continue to tell you guys, if you want to help the channel, the best thing you can do, every video that you watch it all the way to the end or as close to the end as reasonably possible, because that's how YouTube decides if they're going to recommend it to other people. So if you watch the videos, watch them as close to the end as possible. That is the greatest way to support the channel. We're at 4,506 subscribers. Absolute insanity. You know, it's been, I think, less than a month since we hit 4,000. Maybe 4 weeks ago, somewhere around that, something around that. So I'm hoping the next 500 is even quicker. I really want to hit 5,000, and then we're going to do a 5,000 subscriber stream. If you guys can do me a favor on this stream, like the stream, I would greatly appreciate it. Whether you're watching it live or you're watching this after the fact, let's say you're watching this, you might be watching this at 4 o'clock in the morning, after I've already ended the live. Do me a favor, scroll down below, like the stream. If you're watching right now and you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe as well. Also, for those of you who have been living under a rock, I will be doing my first ever pay-per-view live stream. And depending on how that goes, how successful that is, how many people really enjoy it and want me to continue to do it, I'm going to try to mix that in more often. So tomorrow for UFC 278, for the entire main card, and maybe a prelim or two, I will be doing a live stream watch along for UFC 278. As soon as I'm done this stream, actually, I'm going to schedule it on the channel. So it'll be the first ever time I watch a pay-per-view live on my channel. It's a bit of an oversaturated thing. There's so many people live streaming the pay-per-views. But if you care to join me tomorrow when the main card starts for UFC 278, come back to my channel and join me live. I would greatly appreciate it, because depending on how successful it is going to depend on how often I do those pay-per-view live streams. So now that that's all out of the way, submit questions in the chat. I appreciate you guys for joining me here tonight. If you haven't watched the pre-fight, the predictions for UFC 278, the full breakdown and prediction videos, I have 3 of them on the channel. Go watch them tonight or tomorrow before the fights so you can see my in-detail thoughts about the top 3 fights. And I think that's pretty much it. So let's see who's in the stream right now. What is up, Patty Mills? Apologies for being a little bit late, but I am here. If anyone didn't know, the greatest featherweight of all time is fighting tomorrow. Yeah, I guess you could say that. I'll take that. Jose Aldo. The body of work he has. Volk is getting up there, but the body of work Aldo had in WEC as well as the UFC was pretty good. How's it going, Joey? You hyped for Leon versus Usman? I think it's going to be a banger fight. Yes, I am hyped for it. I don't know if it's going to be a banger, but I think it will be a competitive fight and an enjoyable fight. Luke Rockhold by submission or ground and pound, and Edwards by submission or SD or split decision upset alerts. I'm going Luke Rockhold by submission, actually, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Aldo by unanimous decision. What's up, Brendan? I hope you're doing well. Should Izzy move back up to light heavyweight? Absolutely not. Him moving back up to light heavyweight would be an absolute catastrophe. An absolute catastrophe. So, let me see one thing. Okay. Oh, I had a tag on Discord, but then it turns out it was just my stream popping up on Discord. No. Could you imagine what Glover Teixeira would do to him? I mean, I guess he could fight Yuri, but I think Yuri would brutalize him as well. Yuri's too big, too strong. That'd be fun, though. I like that matchup, but I think Adesanya would lose. If I'm Adesanya's manager, agent, friend, I'm like, no. He went up there to cherry pick off Jan Blachowicz, thinking it was going to be an easy win, and it backfired on him. Do you know what Glover Teixeira would do to him? Glover Teixeira would alter the trajectory of Israel Adesanya's entire career and probably even his life. He would put one of those Anthony Smith-esque beatdowns on him and just take him down with absolute ease and just mount him and bash his head into the canvas. It would be a bad, bad loss for Adesanya. He would take significant damage and probably eventually get submitted, and it would just devalue him as the middleweight champion. There's a lot of the time that he was talking about, he wants to fight John Jones. Long before the Jan Blachowicz fight, I actually picked Jan Blachowicz to beat Israel Adesanya, but long before the Jan Blachowicz fight, I said John Jones would wreck him. And I stand by that 100%. John Jones would wreck him, and a lot of these light heavyweights would wreck him. And I said the same thing about Usman when he's talking about going up to light heavyweight himself from 170. He would get wrecked. If he beats Alex and Rockhold loses to Costa, but hold on. If Izzy beats Alex and Rockhold loses to Costa, yeah, but if he beats Alex and Luke, okay, I don't know what's saying there. What's up, French fries? Or Aldo by TKO? Well, some of you might already know my prediction. I have Aldo by TKO, but we'll go fence. What's up, Joey? Do you watch Teddy Atlas at all? No. Parlay suggestions? I don't know. So I'm not a big odds guy or betting, guys, but I would go with Aldo. I'm very confident Aldo wins, and Kamaru Usman. I don't know, who else to mix in there as far as odds, but they're my picks. Are my questions any good? I mean, they're all right. I don't remember any of them other than the one you just asked. No offense, but you have the worst take on the Costa fight. Luke is glass chin, old, coming off a long layoff. No chance Rockhold wins. Maybe so. I might be wrong. I said in the video I'm worried about Luke's chin. But at the same time, skill for skill, Luke is a very skilled fighter. And if he can avoid that KO shot from Costa, who has T-Rex arms, I think it is possible that Luke beats him. But it's not like I said, I'm so confident in this. There's a lot of factors. And I've originally been fully Costa before. And it could be one of those picks where I watched some footage and then I end up convincing myself of the opposite, and I probably should have stuck with Costa. Could be one of those. But if Luke Rockhold gets him down, I believe Luke will be far superior on the ground. Also, Vettori didn't take the 5th round with the clinch. Costa was beating up Vettori in the 5th. Did I say that? I don't even remember saying that. Who would have a better chance at light heavyweight, Usman or Izzy? Probably Izzy, but I don't think either one of them has a good chance. Basically, who would get embarrassed the least? What are we asking there? Oh, to the previous question. Probably Izzy. Rockhold's top game is insane. I agree 100%. 100% Rockhold's top game is unreal. I'm here. I needed this, Joey. No problem. Appreciate you. Dana White troll already back at it. He's always talking shit, it seems. Costa keeps going forward even when tired. The pick makes no sense. I'm convinced you made that pick so people would comment on the video. Okay. You know what? Look, if that's what you want to believe, yeah, I dedicated a whole 15 minutes to get a pick wrong. Dana's going in timeout. I'm not dealing with this. Just sit there. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. If Rockhold wins, who would you match him up with? He's going to get matched up with Adesanya if Adesanya beats Pereira. So, where does Aldo go if he loses? I don't know, man. I don't even want to discuss it. I don't even want to accept it as a possibility. No, I picked Luke to win, but I could see him getting finished in the first or second even. I mean, if Costa lands a big punch, but Costas doesn't have this nuclear power that other guys have put Luke out have. Outside of Bisping, everyone that's KO'd Luke has nuclear power. You know, Jan Blachowicz, Yo Romero with an uppercut from hell, Vitor Belfort spinning back heel kick. Should Ian Gary fight Li Jingliang? I love that idea. That was a John Jones on PEDs, though. Now Santos Reyes both beat him. I think Jan Rockage. Okay. Yeah, he's already talking shit. Yep. So it is what it is. He's on a timeout now. I'm not gonna sit here. If anybody ever wants to come in the live chat and say, "Hey, man, I think you're only making up opinions and wasting your time recording a video so that you can get comments that don't even exist," you're just getting timeout, and then you go again, say something dumb again. You're just getting banned. I don't need you. I do this for fun. Do you think John Jones will be back at the end of the year? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Pereira beats Izzy, in my opinion. Fair enough. May very well be. It may not. If Costa gets tired against Luke, oh boy, that's an easy takedown. You know what that means. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Trash can. It seems as if Dana and Rockhold were okay during the weigh-ins. Rockhold wins. Do we see Rockhold continue the fighter pay stuff, or does he mold back into a company man? I think it's 50-50. I think he'll continue to be a little bit outspoken. You know, Dana came out and said it's all gibberish. I actually responded to it, and over 100 people already liked it. 200 people already liked it. Dana White responds to Luke Rockhold's healthcare grievance. Everything he said was absolute fucking gibberish. I responded, Luke said there should be long-term healthcare for fighters, and he said 50K bonuses have been the same for years. I failed to find the, quote, gibberish there. Everything he said is 100% spot on. It's already got 200 likes on there. It's just crazy. Do you have any faith in Usman? No, I don't. Absolutely not. Good point about Luke. I was a fan. He came off like a douche at the presser. Did he? I watched some of it. I watched most of it last night, but I didn't really pick up on that too much. But I wasn't paying like super close attention, to be quite honest. To be quite honest, I wasn't paying real close attention. Bro, imagine a Jones versus Stipe, Yuri versus Glover, Burns versus Masvidal card. That'd be amazing. Thanks for the stream. I'll take it as a birthday present. It's your birthday too, Goat. Happy birthday, Goat. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I don't know. Did you tell that in stream? I don't remember. But it's Derek's birthday as well. So Derek's was in here at least. It's his birthday as well. This Usman 205 talk is ridiculous. Yeah, especially when he's got Khamzat Chimaev breathing down his neck. Have you heard about Yair because Emmett for the interim? No, I have not. Joey, the fighter pay video, the best you have done, it was 1,000 on. I don't know what you're trying to say there, Vince, but I'm assuming you enjoyed that video. And I appreciate it. I'm glad. It was one of those videos I kind of decided to do. And I feel like not enough people are talking about it, whether it be mainstream MMA media or people just everyday, MMA YouTubers. They don't discuss it because they're so loyal to the UFC because they love the sport so much. But it really should be discussed. It really should be. And let me adjust. I think I'm off center a little bit, and I like to try to stay center. Okay. Costa has strong calf kicks and power. I see three things. Luke looks like Gus and gets demolished, or Luke looks good but still loses. Okay, so every possibility under the sun. Usman versus Jamal. Yeah, stop it. Joey, can you talk about John Jones' tweet last night? What about it? I mean, I take it with a grain of salt. It may happen, it may not. Hey, Joey, stop criticizing UFC fighter pay and healthcare. If you want to start your own fight promotion, then you are free to do so. Exactly. Is it really your birthday? I feel like you're trolling, but happy birthday if it is. I believe I don't know what this is saying, Sinister. I'm lost here. I hate when fighters say F constantly. It takes away from what they're saying. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either. I like to use it when it seems like, throw it out there, because you use it too much, it devalues it. You got to use it when it's really worthy of using it. What's next for Jamal Hill? I'd like to see him against Jan Blachowicz or Magomed Ankalaev. You were 1,000% correct, autocorrect. Appreciate you correcting it. Now I know what you mean. I believe we've only had 2-3 title changes this year, but how many more do you think we'll see by the end of the year? So we got 278, 280. So I think we'll see one at 280. 281, I think he'll get it. 282. I think we'll see one more. I think we'll see Aljo lose his belt. I think we'll see Aljo lose his belt to TJ. No, we'll see Carla lose her belt to Wei Lee. So there's 2. At least 2. Usman can't be in the GOAT conversation without fighting Hamzat. He's got to fight Hamzat next. If Hamzat wins. If Luke wins, that does the UFC do with him? Is this the last fight on his contract? Apparently, this is the last fight on Paulo Costa's contract. So, guys, do me a favor if you're in here. If you have not yet, do me a favor and like the stream. We got 45 people in here. We got 12 likes on the stream. So do me a favor, like the stream. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MMA Joey C. At MMA Joey C. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. It's like the odds are stacked against Luke, and I'm still picking him. Only thing I'm concerned about is the weight cut for him, but also Costa didn't make weight last time, now back at 185 pounds. So, yeah, it's all a big question mark. It's all a big question mark for sure. Also, you have to take into account Paulo Costa has literally one solid win on his entire resume, and it was a questionable win against Yoel Romero. So I'm not super confident in Luke, and we'll talk about all my picks here in a little bit, but I'm picking him. Who's your GOAT? I guess number 1 GOAT. I'll say just body of work alone, John Jones. Thanks. You're welcome. Hey, Joey, Costa being all salty about USADA is silly. If you want to compete in a semi-clean sport, that's how they catch people. Wait for him to blame that for losing. Yeah, I thought that immediately. I do kind of understand it, though. I do understand the grievance, but I get it. Is there any chance Lawler doesn't get demolished by Pons? I'm hoping so, but I doubt it. I'd say 2, possibly 3. Okay. Costa. I think Aljo has a good chance out grappling TJ. Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. If not, TJ wins by TK or KO. If Aljo defends his belt against TJ, does he become bantamweight GOAT with wins over Yan and TJ? No, absolutely not. Costa won't re-sign right away, in my opinion. We'll see. The UFC has an exclusive rights negotiation period. And then after that, he can be matched. So if he goes and signs with another promotion, he can. Hold on 1 second. But yeah, I doubt if he wins, I don't see the UFC letting him go. I really don't. Joe, I mentioned this in the chat a few hours ago. I thought of 2 scenarios: Nate pulling out and we get Gilbert versus Hamzat 5 rounds, and Colby getting a title shot off the Jeff Neal win. No, I doubt that. I think they can't probably cancel the whole event, or they find someone else for him to demolish. 6 a.m. is way too early to draw blood. It was BS. Yeah. I mean, they could have got him when he woke up an hour or 2 later. Back at it with another video. Number 1 MMA channel on YouTube. Nate Diaz emoji. Thank you, Blaze, for being a member, and thank you for the kind words. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, every possible under the sun, like Doctor Strange when he's looking into the universe. Yeah. I don't think the UFC is going to chase after Costa to re-sign at this point. It's tough to say. What's next for Rachmanov? I don't know. I want to see him against somebody towards the top of the division. Why don't you have faith in Aljo? He did it. No, he didn't do good. His striking is terrible. His striking is literally god awful, like TJ said. And he's not out grappling TJ. He wasn't even out grappling Piotr Jan. Okay. Look, I'm not okay. I would like to see Paulo fight Gegard if he beats Luke. Gegard Mousasi? I don't want to see him go over to Bellator. I want to see him stay in the UFC. Aldo got his face smashed against Yan, and that was kind of sad to watch. I know it was a very competitive fight early, too. I agree UFC isn't going to offer enough for Paulo. We'll see. We'll find out. Joe, what would your reaction be if Aljo does beat TJ Aldo? I'd be disturbed. I don't think that's going to happen. TJ's much better than Aljo, in my opinion. I agree. Okay, there we go. I mean, I guess you didn't need to. I was just gonna ignore him. I'm just not dealing with that type of stuff. I really don't feel like it. I feel like people are just coming in trying to be a dick. But let's go to you. Keep throwing the questions in the chat. I am going to go through my full card picks. And I already picked them on Tapology. We're going to start from the bottom and move to the top. Okay, let's see. Where was I at? Predictions. Okay, now I have no idea where I was. Okay. I'm going to go to edit picks just in case I decide to change any of my picks. Starting off with the first fight on the card, a flyweight bout between Victor Altamirano versus Daniel De Silva. I wasn't super sure who to pick here. Victor's coming off the Contender Series, has a loss against Carlos Hernandez, who's 7-1 via split decision 5 months ago. Fought in LFA for a while. But then I looked at Daniel De Silva. They got about hold on a second. I looked at Daniel De Silva, and he's lost his last 2 fights by stoppage, one by submission, one by counter right hand, apparently, both in the UFC, one to Jeff Molina and one to Francisco Figueiredo. And I just thought, you know what? He hasn't won a fight in the UFC. He's got stopped in his last 2 fights. I know Victor has lost his last fight, but he lost it by split decision. I wasn't super sure on this fight. I went to Victor Altamirano via 3rd round TKO. I'm not super confident in that pick at all. I have not done any extensive research on that at all. But there you go. Moving up the card, I can't even pronounce this guy's name, versus Jay Perrin. You look at both these guys. They're both Jay Perrin's coming off a decision loss to Mario Batista, so fighting decent competition there. That's his only fight in the UFC. The other guy only has 3 fights in the UFC. 2 of them are losses. One to Jeff Molina, opponent in common. The other one to Cody Durden. Both have a similar reach, both the same height, both 29 years old. I felt like this is a fight that could go either way, and I wasn't super sure who to pick, honestly. And I picked Perrin, but I'm thinking about changing it. It's one of those things where I really don't know who I should pick on this one, honestly. I'm just going to stick with Perrin by decision. I picked Perrin. I'm going to go Jay Perrin by decision. Okay, moving up the card to some fighters I actually, remember fighting. Amir Albazi versus Francisco Figueiredo. I'm going Albazi. I think he's a much better fighter. Has decent wins in his last few fights. 28 years old. Francisco Figueiredo isn't that good. I mean, I know who's his brother is, but you guys know it's consistently on this channel that I don't believe in guys that get a little bit too much hyped just because of who they're related to or who they train with. Lost to Malcolm Gordon, where Amir literally finished Malcolm Gordon via submission. I debated about taking him by submission, and I'm thinking about switching my pick to submission. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? I'm going Albazi via decision. I just think he's the overall better fighter, faster, better striking, good on the ground. For Figueiredo, it just really isn't that great. Moving up the card, AJ Fletcher versus Ange Lusa. Fletcher coming off the Contender Series with that crazy flying knee KO last year. Since then, he lost to Matt Semmelsberger via decision in a fight that, if I remember correctly, he was getting quite tired in. But I feel like you look at Lusa, he has a loss to Munir Laziz, who, if I remember correctly, let me go look. I wish I could look at who he fought since then. He has a win over John Howard, former UFC fighter, lost to Jack Della Maddalena on the Contender Series. I feel like this is a fight that AJ Fletcher should definitely win. 25 years old to 28 years old, Fletcher much younger. Lusa does have a massive reach advantage of 7 inches. They're both the same height. I'm going AJ Fletcher. I think he's more dynamic. I think he probably out-wrestle him as well. I think he'll win the fight. I'm going to go first round submission. I'm just going to throw that out there. I have no idea why. I'm going to go first round submission. Should I? Let's see. Hold on. Let's see what made me. You know what? I'm not going to go first round submission. I don't know why I threw that in here. This is what I had already in here. You know what? I'm just going to stick with it. I'm going to say he rocks him and then locks him up in a submission in the first round. I'm going to stick with it. Sean Woodson versus Luis Saldana. I think this is an easy fight to pick, honestly. I think Sean Woodson gets it done. Used to fight at bantamweight, which is absolute straight up insanity. He's so skinny and tall. He's 6'2", fighting at 135 pounds. 30 years old to 31. He's much taller, 5'11" to 6'2". Sean Woodson 6'2", and he has a massive reach advantage. I think he wins this fight, and I think he just outstrikes him. But I don't think Sean Woodson doesn't really have any like crazy power. I think he'd be more likely to potentially maybe rock him and then get a submission. But I'm going Sean Woodson by decision. Moving up the card, Jared Gordon versus Leonardo Santos. This is a fight that I feel like Leonardo Santos, he's coming off that loss to Clay Guida in a fight that he almost got the stoppage. Before that, he lost to Grant Dawson. Not a terrible loss to have. And I feel like Leonardo Santos has just never been able to have any prolonged success in the UFC. Jared Gordon isn't like the greatest fighter ever. He lost to Grant Dawson in his last fight. Before that, he beat Joe Selecki. Before that, he beat Danny Chavez. Before that, he beat Chris Fishgold. Not bad losses. Leonardo Santos has a significant reach advantage, but his striking isn't that great. And also, he's 42 years old. It's hard for me to pick a 42-year-old guy in the 155-pound division. I'm going Jared Gordon by decision. Marcin Tybura versus Alexander Romanov. I think this is a fight that could truly go either way, but I'm going Romanov second round TKO. I think Romanov is a future contender within the heavyweight division. He's looked good. He's been in better shape each and every time out. But this is his biggest test of his career. He's never fought someone as good as Marcin Tybura. Tybura's coming in off a loss against Alexander Volkov. Before that, he has a win, a TKO win over Walt Harris. Before that, a TKO win over Greg Hardy. Before that, a win over Ben Rothwell. Decent wins. I mean, decent for the heavyweight division. Romanov has never fought anyone close to the talent of Marcin Tybura. I mean, we're talking Chase Sherman in his last fight, which was a sacrificial lamb. Jarrett Vandera, sacrificial lamb. Juan Espinoza by decision in his last fight. I think Romanov's just better everywhere. I think he's faster on the feet. I think he has better grappling. Marcin Tybura is 36 years old, so not particularly old for the heavyweight division. Romanov, 31. Similar reach. Tybura has a slight reach advantage, but I think Romanov's just bigger, stronger, faster. I think he'll win. I think he'll clip him badly, TKO him on the ground. I'm going Romanov second round TKO. The fight that everyone wants me to get to, the biggest fight of the night. Hold on. Now my eyes itching. The biggest fight of the night, Tyson Pedro versus Harry Hunsucker, opening up the main card. Harry Hunsucker is terrible. He's lost his last 2 fights by KO or TKO. You know, and I mean, he's 33 years old. He's at a reach disadvantage of 4 inches. Tyson Pedro is kind of like, what are we really getting? Because he's only fought once in the last 3 years. But I think Tyson Pedro is going to go out there and finish Harry Hunsucker. I don't think this fight belongs on the main card. I think Tyson Pedro is going to go out there and finish him in the first round. Pedro, first round KO. Moving up the card, Lucy Pudilova versus Yanan Wu. Honestly, this fight does not belong on the main card either. Wu's lost her last 3 fights. Myra Bueno Silva, not a terrible loss to have. Jocelyn Edwards, not a terrible loss to have. She's lost 3 in a row, where Lucy comes in on a 2-fight winning streak, but outside the UFC against essential bums, 8-4 and 5-3. 28 to 26 years old, 5'8" to 5'8". Lucy has a slight reach advantage. I feel like women's MMA, you never know. You truly don't know. Do I go with Wu or do I go with Lucy? I'm going Yanan Wu by decision. Easy. Okay, moving up the card. It's hard to believe that's the appetizer for Jose Aldo versus Merab Dvalishvili. I am going Jose Aldo in this one. I am very confident in Jose Aldo to win this fight against Merab. Jose Aldo coming in on a 3-fight win streak. Rob Font, Pedro Munoz, Marlon Vera. Merab coming in on a win streak. Marlon Moraes, Cody Stamen, John Dotson, Gustavo Lopez, Casey Kenny. 35 years old for Jose Aldo, 31 for Merab. 5'7" to 5'6". Slight reach advantage for Jose Aldo. I'm going Aldo. I think Merab is a tailor-made matchup for Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo has great takedown defense, great striking. Merab's best win is against a chinny Marlon Moraes, who almost finished him but gassed out and got finished himself. I think Jose Aldo wins this and wins it in spectacular fashion. I think he uses the first round to, be a little bit leery of the takedowns, stuff the takedowns, land some good shots on Merab. Second round, he takes Merab out with a knee of some sort, with a body shot of some sort. I think Jose Aldo finishes Merab in highlight reel fashion in the second round, clips him, follows him to the ground, and finishes him off with ground and pound. Moving up the card, we have Luke Rockhold versus Paulo Costa. This is a terrible fight to pick, and I feel like I could end up regretting my pick on this one. I am going, we'll talk about it first. Paulo Costa, everyone's picking Paulo Costa. He's coming in on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost to Marvin Vettori in his last fight at 205. He lost to Israel Adesanya, where he got TKO'd before that. Before that, he was on a 3-fight winning streak, but not against the best competition. His best wins against Yoel Romero almost 3 years ago at this point. And this was a fight that was razor close. That could have went either way. That I actually scored for Yoel Romero. And you have Luke Rockhold, who's been off for a while. He's coming back after 2 brutal KOs. One against Jan Blachowicz in a fight that had Luke Rockhold won, he would have been fighting for the light heavyweight title. Then the fight before that was a middleweight title fight where Yoel Romero missed weight. That was 4 years ago. And Luke Rockhold got brutally KO'd in that one as well. Before that, he had a win over David Branch. Before that, he lost his title to Michael Bisping. I don't know what Luke Rockhold we're getting. I really don't know what Luke Rockhold we're getting. But I think if he's even remotely close to his former self, I think he should win this fight. Luke's getting chinned by big power punchers. Yoel Romero and Jan Blachowicz are some of the biggest power punchers. I know he got KO'd by Michael Bisping, but that left hand was one of the most, wild winging left hands I ever seen, and it landed right on the tip of the chin. I also believe, the only other time he got KO'd was against Vitor Belfort, spinning heel kick to the chin. And I just think if Luke is remotely close to the skill set he was before, I think he can land from the outside against Paulo Costa, use his footwork, eventually get the takedown. I think he may get chinned. He may very well get chinned, but I'm going Luke Rockhold's second round submission. I think he'll land some good shots from the outside, land some good body kicks, land some good leg kicks. I think he'll clinch up with Paulo Costa, and he may very well get chinned. But I just think Paulo Costa, he's got a massive reach disadvantage to overcome here. Costa's going to press forward, throw a lot of volume, and maybe that volume is what causes Rockhold to get brutally KO'd, because you can only dodge so many shots before you end up eating a shot against Paulo Costa. And maybe Luke's chin is gone, and with the long layoff, it's hard to say where he's at skill-wise. But I feel like if he's coming back, I don't feel like Luke's coming back for a check. I feel like he's ready to go. He looks in great shape. He was a highly skilled fighter that I was very high on before he left. And he's got KO'd by Jan Blachowicz and Yoel Romero. There's no shame in that. And I think Luke Rockhold comes out and proves that he can still hang with some of the elite fighters, or it's over for him. Honestly, if he gets chinned by Paulo Costa, I believe a lot of people are picking Paulo Costa first round KO. But I think you're going to see Luke Rockhold with a lot of footwork early on. Mark my words on that. A lot of footwork early on. And I also believe Paulo Costa's forward pressure could end up with him getting taken down by Luke Rockhold. And Luke Rockhold has some of the best jiu-jitsu top game I have ever seen in my life. So I think he could end up submitting Paulo Costa. That's my pick, second round submission. I think this one is a fight that really is hard to predict. Paulo Costa hasn't won a fight in 3 years. Luke hasn't won a fight in almost 5 years. Neither guy, I mean, Costa hasn't fought at middleweight in 3 years himself, or no, hasn't won a. No, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Hasn't fought at middleweight in 2 years. Luke hasn't fought at middleweight in 4.5 years. So it's really, is the weight cut affecting either guy? I feel like it's a hard fight to predict. I know everyone's going with Costa by KO. Costa does not have nuclear power. People forget that. He's never one-shot KO'd anyone. Ever. So I know he has a lot of volume. I know he has good shots. I think Luke's going to be having a lot of footwork, moving quite a bit early, and eventually look for a takedown. So I'm going Luke Rockhold, second round submission. Okay. Moving up the card to the main event. Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards 2, a fight 7 years in the making. This is a fight that I think had to be made. You have Kamaru Usman, has never lost in the UFC. He's coming off the win over Colby Covington in November last year. Before that, he brutally KO'd Jorge Masvidal. Before that, he chinned Gilbert Burns. Before that, he beat Jorge Masvidal 50-45. Before that, he beat Colby Covington by TKO in the 5th round. Kamaru Usman's strengths are his wrestling, his clinch work, and his stamina. Leon Edwards, on a long win streak, 9-fight win streak, doesn't have the best wins, but it's not his fault. He's accepted fights with top-ranked guys and even Khamzat Chimaev before he was ranked 3 times, and it did not come to fruition. And I believe that Leon Edwards poses a real threat to dethroning Kamaru Usman. But I look at Leon Edwards, and I just don't think he has the stamina to keep up with the pace that Usman's going to put on him from the first round. And it's not like Leon Edwards is some crazy finisher, like he's KOing guys left and right. And I think Leon Edwards is a far superior striker. He may get away with the first round. He may win the second round. But the pace that Usman is going to push, pressing forward, throwing combinations, clinching up with him, shooting on takedowns, I think Leon Edwards is going to be tired in that 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. And I could see Leon Edwards having some success in that 1st and 2nd round. And then I think Usman, it's going to be close though. I think Usman's going to take over in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th. I mean, even in the Nate Diaz fight, which wasn't a high output by any means, Leon Edwards was so tired in the 4th and 5th that he was losing some clinch exchanges with Nate Diaz. So if you're losing some clinch exchanges with Nate Diaz in the 4th or 5th round, I think you're going to lose some clinch exchanges with Kamaru Usman. Usman's 35 years old, and also the laws of statistics says he's going to lose that title eventually. So maybe Leon goes out there and wins. I think if Leon wins, he wins by decision as well. Just outpointing him, pumping the jab, teeping to the body, chopping the legs, defending takedowns. But I just don't think – I think the cardio is the big issue here. I think Usman is superior with the cardio. And then also, those takedowns and the power of Kamaru Usman are going to have Leon Edwards very leery. Where I feel like Usman is confident in his ability to take shots from Leon. He's going to press forward, clinch up with him, stomp his feet, and he's going to win a decision. I could also see Kamaru Usman 4th or 5th round TKO. Had their original fight, and again, you can only take so much from their original fight because of the fact that it was so long ago. They're two completely different fighters at this point in time. But you look at that 3rd round, had it gone a 4th round, I think Usman would have finished Leon in that first fight. And I know that doesn't matter per se, but it's just notable. And I think we're going to have a similar situation here where Leon's going to get tired from the pace that Usman puts on him. And I think he's going to lose particularly the 4th and 5th round pretty decisively, and then eventually lose a decision. But I could see him getting stopped by ground and pound in that 4th round. You know, if I was going to pick Usman by TKO, I'd go 4th round TKO Kamaru Usman. That would be my pick. But I am going Kamaru Usman by decision. So there you have it. You have my full card picks, guys. You have my full card picks. I have picked the entire card of UFC 278. And also, for those of you who have not been here the entire stream, or you've been living under a rock, I will be live streaming UFC 278 tomorrow. You can watch UFC 278 with me. I'll be doing a live stream watch along. So 10 p.m., maybe 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, I will be going live. I will schedule it on the channel after I end this live stream. And I'm looking forward to watching it with you guys and getting your guys' reaction, and you guys can see my reactions to all the big fights. Okay, back to the questions. If you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. If you have not yet liked the stream, do me a favor and like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it if you would like the stream. That's how we get more people in here. If you're watching the stream and you're not subscribed to the channel, click subscribe right this very second. It would it helps me out a lot. So I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. I'm almost there. I'm so close. I'm less than 500 subscribers away from 5,000. We're going to have a big celebration stream when we go there. When we get there. But there's 52 people watching. There's 26 likes. What's going on, guys? What's going on for real? We got all these lurkers. Nobody liking the stream. Okay, let's see where we left off. Where did we leave off? Okay. Why do people hate TJ for failing a test, yet they let John Jones off the hook? I don't know. I'm kind of guilty as this as well. I think what it is TJ willingly injected into his body where Jones has plausible deniability. If I had to answer the question. Now, does it make sense? I don't know. But I'll just say that. Does Jan stop Sean or does it go decision? I think Jan stops him for sure. Most likely upset Carla, Diaz, O'Malley. Definitely O'Malley. I can't see Carla or Diaz winning. I could see O'Malley clipping Jan somehow. I don't think that's super likely. But if that's a 5% probability, everything else is less than 1. I have kind of a little bit, though. I had Aldo up 3-0 versus Jan, but the stoppage, man, was hard to watch. Yeah, I don't remember who the referee was, but I was pissed. Did you put them on IG? My full card picks? No, but I will tomorrow. Who do you want to see Jamal Hill fight? Jan Blachowicz or Magomed Ankalaev? That's 9 live streams in a row. Okay. Joey, do you enjoy watching boxing? I don't watch boxing, so not really. Does Dan Hooker versus Tony Ferguson make sense? Yes, it does. What's going on, Joey? Can't wait for Leon versus Usman now. I think Leon has a way better chance than most people think. I agree 100%. To be honest, I didn't know how Hooker's ranked. He moved down a weight class and got beat. He should not be ranked. I would tend to agree with you. I put my picks on Discord. Okay, I will check that out. I will check that out in a little while. I wonder how close we are. You took Costa by submission, bro? What the hell? Costa by 3rd round submission? What the hell is that pick, bro? Aldo decision, Usman decision. We'll have to compare picks. I don't remember all my early ones. 6'2", making 135 is crazy. Yes, it is. We're talking about Sean Woodson there. How do you not know, bro? It was in the Discord. It was in the Discord like 86 times. 86 times. Romero won 2-1 against Carla and got robbed. Oh, against Costa. Yeah, I don't know if it was a robbery, but I thought that Yoel won. That was a TRT spinning heel kick. Yes. Surprised you're going with Rockhold. At least I see a path. That is what I've been saying. Yeah, it was. It could be one of. I was 100% Costa. I started watching some fights. I started seeing Costa, Rockhold, in his previous form, and I was like, if Rockhold's better than ever and not injured, maybe. Long layoff helps the chin. That's the other thing. It could have a comeback like Brian Ortega. Rockhold looks like he's ready to win this shit. Too bad he has an off switch on his chin. I know. It really is unfortunate. I think he'll prove he's up there, but lost last in the fight. Costa via late knockout. Kamaru wins via unanimous decision, calling 49-46. That sounds about right to me. I could see Edwards winning the first round. No, I would not be. I would not be surprised. I think Luke has a solid chance. I just hope he's taking some time to try to evolve as a fighter. His defense always kind of lacked. Yeah, I think it's more of an issue of lacking of striking defense over his actual chin itself. Jay, would you be surprised if Luke retired? I already answered that. I could see Usman by KO too. I don't think Edwards' chin's the best. If he hits him like Nate Diaz did, he's putting him to sleep. Almost 50 in here. Yeah, I know, man. 27 likes. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on, guys? What are you doing? Why do people give... Okay, I already answered that. Yes, I could see Costa winning a decision as well. I think he could. Still wish Luke could have taken the less dangerous fight for a comeback like Jack Herman or Sean Strickland. He was supposed to fight Sean Strickland back last year. Do you think Aldo should get a title shot if he wins at 278? Yes. Yes, and the winner of Piotr versus Sugar fights Chito. I would love that. That's hilarious, dude. What's up, Carter Tracy? Thank you for watching. Heard Walt Harris and Sean Brady doing watch along for Usman fight as well. I did not know that. Are they friends? I guess they're friends, huh? Has Costa ever won by sub? I don't believe so. Could Costa win a decision? His gas tank looked better. I think he could. I mean, he looked great in the Vettori fight, but that was at 205, though. Praying the MMA gods Leon wins the belt. Fair enough. I hope Costa wins and leaves the UFC and gets paid big money like Shane Burgos. I want to see more fighters leave and get paid their worth elsewhere. I don't want to see fighters leave, but I would like to see fighters get paid better. Nice work. Thank you. I think Tapology's broken. My picks aren't correct that got sent to you. That's wild. Yeah, I was actually shocked when I saw that. I was actually shocked that you were picking Costa by sub round 3. Was that the only one that was off? Was that the only one that was off? I think Usman dominates and I'm a hater. Dominates every round, though. Can't deny that Jones has a complex skill set and elite fight IQ, but the PED stuff still hurts his legacy. Agreed. Who do you think challenges for the light heavyweight belt next? It's going to be Glover. That's already known. That's announced. I'm pretty sure. Bare minimum, we know the UFC is working on that fight. Let's go Costa. Okay. Did you know Nate Maness is dropping down to flyweight? I think this is a terrible decision. Yes, I did. I forgot. I think he's fighting Tagir or something like that. I don't know if it's a good decision or bad decision. Some people thought Aldo moving to 35 was a terrible decision. So we see how that turned out. But we'll see. Only time will tell. Nate Maness knows his body better than we do. Costa did look ripped on the scale today like it was an easy cut. Dude, Costa looks so jacked. It's unreal. Where you live? I'm in Miami, Maryland. Watch your vids all the time. Thank you, Michael Longman. I appreciate you. What's up? Keep out. Hope you're doing well. No, I do not. Dominates and gets a finish in the 4th. Leon wrestling suck. I wouldn't say it sucks, but it's tough to say. Everyone on roids, though. Could very well be true. Would not surprise me if most of the roster's on roids. But pure speculation. For most. Yeah, apparently Leonardo Santos had a bad weight cut too. I'm just seeing online, so I definitely glad I didn't pick him. Who you got, Holland or Wonderboy? Probably Wonderboy, honestly. Yeah, but that could be anything, dude. That we don't know that for sure. They're injection marks. I mean, it could be any. I probably got marks on my body that look like injection marks, and I'm not on PEDs. He's fighting Tagir, but also says he walks close to 170, so I don't know how he'll make it. My guess is he's going to change his walking around weight. Would be my guess. Give me 1 second, guys. Keep the questions coming too. Yeah, if he's walking around at 170, he's going to cut down. That's insane. I just want to see something really quick. Okay. I don't know how Costa made 185 pounds. Me either. I mean, he's just crazy. I mean, he's jacked. I don't know how he cuts the weight. He literally looks like his body's just sucked dry when he weighs in. Not really. No, I'm not a bettor. I'm not big into gambling. I feel like no matter what, no matter how you do, eventually they always get their money back. So what's the point? I feel like it's a scam. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's fights, guys. I mean, I know a lot of people are complaining about the card, and I understand that it's not the greatest card ever. But with all that being said, you look at the top 3 fights, they are incredible. Incredible fights. I'm really looking forward to seeing that main event. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Aldo versus Merab. And I mean, Rockhold versus Costa is as intriguing as you can get. I actually think that more people care about Costa versus Rockhold, which is crazy to me. Which is absolutely crazy to me that more people care about that than anything. But no matter who wins, it's going to have big implications in the middleweight division. 100%. Huge implications in the middleweight division. If Luke wins, he's probably fighting for a title next, would be my guess. If Costa wins, depending on what happens in the division, I could see Costa getting close to a title shot, maybe having to win one more fight. But it all varies because what happens at 281 between Adesanya and Pereira. That's the big if. That's the big if. Because if Pereira knocks out Adesanya or beats Adesanya in any fashion, I think they run Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira back for a second time in the UFC. If Adesanya beats Pereira by decision, let's look at the rankings real quick. UFC rankings. Let's see. So you have Adesanya. Let's operate under the assumption he beats Pereira. He's not fighting Whitaker. Whitaker's already lost to him twice. He's not fighting Cannonier. He just beat Cannonier. He's not fighting Vettori. Already beat Vettori twice. Beat Derek Brunson, and Derek Brunson's on a loss. Paulo Costa would be next if Paulo Costa beats Luke, probably, because he's number 6. Sean Strickland's coming off a loss. Jack Hermanson just got a win over Chris Curtis. Darren Till ain't getting it. Andre Muniz ain't getting it. Kelvin Gastelum ain't getting it. So depending on what happens in the division after Izzy versus Pereira, I think tomorrow night's fight is a number 1 contender fight. I really do, because who else are you giving it to? Strickland just got KO'd. Hermanson got a win, but I don't think the UFC is going to give Hermanson a title shot off that win. Darren Till's on a losing streak and is injured. What are they going to give Andre Muniz a title shot? No, they're going to give Costa. So if Costa wins tomorrow and Izzy wins against Pereira, we're probably going to see Izzy Costa too, which is crazy when Costa will have won 1 out of his last 3. That is straight up insanity. That will be straight up insanity. Let me X out of some of these tabs that I don't need. Don't need that one. So whoever wins tomorrow night will be the number 1 contender in the middleweight division. Let me know what you guys think. Let me post a poll. Does the Costa Rockhold winner get next title shot? get the next. Unless there's somebody else that just shoots up the ranks in the meantime. But there's not even any fights in the meantime that you're going to be like, oh, we're going to get a contender from that. He's not going to light heavyweight. But if Yuri is still the champion, I wouldn't mind seeing that matchup. But I think Adesanya would get wrecked by Yuri. Badly. Badly. Let's see what you guys are saying. Go vote in the poll. I posted it in the chat. Does the Costa Rockhold winner get the next title shot? I can't believe I tweeted that thing back to the MMA Junkie thing, and I keep getting notifications. It's got over 200 likes on it now. Hilarious. And if it's not, they don't pay. Yeah, so that's crazy. I wonder if any other news come out. Marlon Vera, okay, that's dumb. No one cares about this. I'm just seeing if there's any other news. Someone posted that Josh Emmett, Yair Rodriguez. That's horseshit news. Let's go to MMA Fighting and see if there's anything new coming out. I think it was hilarious. Costa flipped the middle finger, but he looked straight up jacked. I can't believe that. I can't believe how jacked Costa looks. I mean, it's literally incredible. 50-50, apparently, but nobody wants to vote. Nobody wants to go vote. Yeah, I don't think there's much news coming out. There's not a card next week, is there? I don't think there's a card next week. Nope. I can't believe the 2 fights opening up the main card. Garbage fights. It actually makes me really annoyed. So we skip next week, and then we get Gane versus Tuivasa. The Gane versus Tuivasa card, a UFC Paris card, is better than UFC 279, to be quite honest. I'm looking forward to Charles Jourdain versus Nathaniel Wood. I'm looking forward to Nasruddin Imavov versus Joaquin Buckley. All in the prelims. John McDessie versus Nasrat Haqparast is a decent fight. I'm not pumped for that. Whitaker versus Vittori is borderline a main event for a fight night. And then Cyril Gane versus Tai Tuivasa is an incredible matchup as well. I'm looking forward to that. Gane is apparently a negative 540 negative 540 favorite. I don't understand odds too much. I can't believe that a fight night card the week before is better than the pay-per-view. Dana says he's working on fights, though. It's 3 weeks out, but Dana's working on fights, apparently. I mean, right now, Hamzat Chimaev, Nate Diaz, Johnny Walker, Ian Kutalaba, Shamil Abdurakhimov versus Jalton Almeida, Hakeem Dawodu versus Julian Erosa, Irene Aldana versus Macy Chaston, Norma Dumont, Danielle Wolf. Let's see how many fights we got on. 1, 2, I think it's 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so 11. So there's still room for some more fights. But 279, I know I've been complaining about it nonstop. It is a garbage fight card. Skip it at all cost. Skip it at all cost. Yeah, UFC Paris is definitely better. Let's see what the poll's looking like. It's 50-50. Go vote in the poll. I want to know. Dana said they're still adding fights. Yeah. Hilarious, right? Okay, where were we at in the questions? Where were we at? You think they'll go back-to-back? You were probably right. What are you talking about there? Oh, if Pereira wins, yes. Winner of Luke Costa gets next shot if Izzy wins. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. If Alex wins an immediate rematch, Izzy did clear out the division, needs to go to light heavyweight again. I would love an Adesanya Yuri matchup, but I just don't know if that's good for Adesanya's health. I bet the UFC wants Pereira to win. They have way better matchups. I don't know if they do. I'm pretty convinced Costa Loki knows his chance of beating Izzy are low, and he'd rather get signed by another organization and make bank. We'll see. It would be really unfortunate if he beats Rockhold and then leaves. You got to respect Merab, though. He took the fight against Aldo, who's the hardest matchup in the division, in my opinion. Yeah, that's a terrible matchup for Merab, too. That dude looked 210, not 185. Dude, he's so jacked. It's unreal. I mean, every muscle in his body is just popping out, just massively huge. It's hard to believe how fast time goes by, guys. I mean, I remember not that long ago, there was that 3-week lull in action in January. Let's go back. I'm going to go back and look on my YouTube channel right now. We're almost to 5,000. I'm hyped. Guys, we are 490 subscribers away from 5,000. So go subscribe to the channel. It's crazy how many videos I put on this channel. I'm scrolling and there's just hours upon hours of content on the channel. 7 months ago. Okay, let's see what I put out in that lull in action. Okay, live stream. Tony Ferguson may finally have a fight. I talked about Eagle FC being a terrible organization and making terrible matchups. I talked about Nate Diaz versus Dustin Poirier. Talked about UFC 272, which was originally supposed to be Volkanovski versus Holloway and Piotr Jan versus Aljo 3. Boy, did that age terribly. That was a terrible fight card that ended up having neither one of those fights on it. I talked about what's next for Khamzat Chimaev, which ended up being accurate. Then I talked about a couple days later, we found out that we were getting Volk versus the Korean Zombie, which is a terrible matchup, which I made a video about. I got a lot of hate. It got 7,000 views. I got a lot of hate on it. I was 100% accurate. 100% accurate. Then we got Chikadze versus Cater prediction. I did a Royval versus Monterrey prediction. Then we got the Masvidal versus Colby announcement. It's crazy. I can't believe I'm just scrolling through all these thumbnails. An obscene amount of videos. Obscene amount of videos, guys. But I hope you guys are enjoying the channel. I appreciate you guys watching, honestly. We have a lot of fun on this channel. For sure. I'm wondering how the stream's going to be tomorrow. Who's all coming to the 278 live stream tomorrow? Let me know in the chat right now if you're coming tomorrow. I'm genuinely curious. Are you going to be watching UFC 278 live with me? UFC Paris is fire for a fight night. I agree. Merab is also Aldo's hardest matchup. He's a grindy, relentless wrestler that would test Aldo's gas tank. I guess that makes sense as well. Yeah, they are terrible fights to start the pay-per-view. That's why I stream if I don't go out. Makes sense. Ghana's 540. You need to bet 540 to win 100. That's crazy. Still adding fights, I know. Walt Harris has been following Usman this whole camp. He will help Sean Brady learn about him during the watch along. Okay. Yeah, Walt Harris is going to give away the keys. Merab could give Aldo some fits, but he'll struggle on the feet. But I would say Sandhagen TJ would be tougher for Aldo. I agree. Outside, I don't think Merab gives him fits. I'm very confident Jose Aldo wins. What's up, Joey? How was your day? My day was good. I hope your day was good as well. I doubt it. Doubtful. Very doubtful. I think if Rockhold wins, he fights for the title. And if Costa wins, he fights the winner of Vittori Whitaker. Yeah, but then if Vittori Whitaker beats him, who's fighting for a title then? I don't know who's going to fight for a title. Adesanya has literally beaten everyone. You're going to wait for a Maivov to make his way up the ranks or Muniz make his way up the ranks? Because Jared Cannonier's fighting Sean Strickland. The winner of that fight ain't fighting for a belt. So who's going to fight for a belt then? I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing the Costa rematch, but also if Rockhold beats Costa, I mean, the Rockhold fight is pretty hot as well. I think if Rockhold wins for the fight, he fights. Okay, I already read that. More than likely, Vince is coming. Keep Out is coming. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, if you want to join me tomorrow, I'm going live for UFC 278. It's going to be fun. I'm curious to see how it does, and I might do a little bit more of them in the future. So we'll see how it goes. I'm always just trying new things on the channel, trying to improve. People have been hounding me forever to do a pay-per-view live stream, and tomorrow's finally the day. I'm looking forward to it. When do you think Usman versus Chimaev will happen? If I had to guess, I'll say April of 2023, which is unfortunate, really. That's really unfortunate. I don't want to wait that long. But I didn't want to see Leon Edwards get skipped over either. Usman's out there saying, oh, well, Chimaev is fighting Nate Diaz and he's not going to deserve a title shot. He should be knocking off contenders. Dude, he just knocked off Gilbert Burns. Calm down. And it's funny because Usman and Ali were trying to angle for a Nick Diaz fight last year. When Nick Diaz was fighting Robbie Lawler, Kamaru Usman and Ali Abdelaziz was angling for a Nick Diaz title shot if Nick Diaz was able to defeat Robbie Lawler. And now he's out there being critical of Khamzat fighting Nate Diaz after he just beat Gilbert Burns. Keep in mind, Gilbert Burns is better than any win Colby Covington has. Any win Colby Covington has. And on top of that, Usman's saying that. Meanwhile, he's defending against Leon Edwards, who just did the same exact thing. So I don't like the look of getting a title shot off of Nate Diaz. But at the same time, I think Khamzat could sit out and wait anyway. The UFC is just using him as a hitman against Nate Diaz. So that's the real reason. That's what's really going on there. Khamzat has already earned it with a win over Gilbert Burns and one of the best fights of 2022. And I don't – Usman's going to ruin his reputation if he dodges that fight. I just don't like some of the things he's saying. I find it weird because of the fact he's been out there angling for every money fight under the sun. I think Khamzat Chimaev is the biggest fight in the division. And it just seems like Usman don't want it at every turn. And I'm not saying he needs to be out there calling Khamzat out. But if I was him and I was confident I would beat Chimaev, I'd be calling him out. I'd be like, I can't wait to whoop his ass. Because Chimaev is going to draw some pay-per-view buys legitimately. Believe it or not, I think Khamzat Chimaev's star power is already very high. And if he goes out there and just ragdolls and beats the living shit out of Nate Diaz, there's going to be a good portion of people that tune in and they're going to be like, I can't believe that. Mark my words, ready? The UFC and the MMA media will say nobody's ever finished Nate like that. When Khamzat goes out there and beats the living shit out of Nate Diaz, which I'm not going to be happy about watching, to be honest. People will start saying, the MMA media included, the UFC included, Dana White included, Khamzat Chimaev, D Riders included. I've never seen Nate Diaz nobody finishes Diaz like that. Can you believe Chimaev did that? Yes, we do believe it because that's what we thought would happen. But at the same time, you can't deny the fact that Khamzat went out there and ragdoll Li Jingliang, beat him, and then went out there and beat Gilbert Burns in an amazing fight of the year, arguably. Probably second best fight of the year, honestly. You can't deny that. So for Usman to sit there and act like he don't want to fight Chimaev, come on now. And I think it brings in the most amount of pay-per-view buys for Kamaru Usman. I think Usman Chimaev is bigger than if Usman went up to fight like Yuri Prochazka, which he's talking about, which he's going to get starched at 205. Him and Ali just need to shut their mouths because Kamaru Usman would get brutally, savagely beaten at 205. I mean, Yuri Prochazka would bend Usman over his knee and start smacking his ass, and there's nothing that Kamaru Usman would be able to do about it. So shut up. Shut up. You got the biggest fight you could have ever gotten in the weight class against Khamzat Chimaev, making his way right up to you. and you're saying, I want to fight at 205. I want to go get brutally KO'd by Yuri Prohaska and then ruin the Chimaev fight? No. Now, would I have loved to see Chimaev versus Colby in the meantime? Yes. But it's not happening because the UFC wants to watch. I mean, Dana White has a Nate Diaz getting savagely beaten fetish at this point in time. He's not happy with Nate Diaz. Will Masvidal ever beat a top guy again? I'll say no. What's up, Thomas? What's going on? Joey, what's your prediction for Kevin Holland versus Thompson? I'm going to go Wonder Boy. Picks him apart from the outside. I kind of hope Usman loses so he can shut his mouth and be humble. Yeah, but I'm dying to see the Hamzat fight, so I want Usman to win. What's next for your boy, Chris Curtis? I don't know. I'm going to do an interview with him soon. I'd like to see him against Dricus du Plessis. I don't know if Dricus will accept that fight, though, now that he's ranked. But Chris Curtis is ranked right behind him, so it'd be stupid. But you never know. The rankings ruined everything. Everyone's saying, I'm number 12. I'm not fighting number 13. I'm only fighting ahead of me. And then they complain because number 10 doesn't want to accept the fight with them. The rankings are so annoying. But to answer your questions, I hope it's Dricus du Plessis. And I think it makes a lot of sense. And I would actually really enjoy seeing that matchup. I think that matchup would be a lot of fun. Guys, if you have not yet liked the stream, do me a favor and like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, let me see if I can find this real quick. If anyone wants to join our members Discord, if you want a great community to discuss MMA with every single day, 24/7, become a member of the channel. The link is down in the description. It's $3 a month. You get to join the members only Discord. You get extra live stream replays. You get custom loyalty badges next to your name, as well as custom emojis to use in the chat and comments. And I'll also post a link in the chat as well. If anybody wants to sign up, it costs $3 a month, and it's a great way to support the channel. But yeah, I think what were we talking about? I think the rankings have ruined everything. I think that's what we were discussing. When's the Sean Brady interview, dude? It's impossible. Right now, I'm basically nobody. You guys have to understand that. I'm literally nobody. I'm just some random guy online, okay? It's impossible to get fighter interviews at this point. So, what's up, Chrissy? Hope you're doing well. He's looking for a way out. Usman will retire before fighting Hamza. I hope not. I hope not. Your boy Curtis may get a really big fight. Right time, right place. Just hope he gets proper time in camp. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. He could jump in as I don't want to see him jumping in any more short notice fights. But who knows? Next thing you know, we see him fighting Andre Muniz. And I think he could win that fight. It's going to be a tough matchup. But if somebody's ready to fight and they're turning their opponents or other people are turning them down, Chris Curtis ain't going to turn it down. He got a new contract. He's going to accept every fight that's potentially offered to him. So, we'll see. We will see. What other fights are on 281? Carlos Esparza, Weili Zhang, which I called 2 weeks ago. Dustin Poirier versus Chandler. There you go. How many more times do you think Thiago Santos will fight before he retires? He hasn't been looking all that great in his last few fights. Probably forever. He'll probably go to PFL afterwards and fight for another 20 years. I don't see Thiago Santos as a guy that's going to hang it up. I have Usman by decision. I think Usman's too big, too strong, better cardio, will push a pace, and I think he'll be dominant in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds. I have a full breakdown and prediction on the channel if you want to go check it out after the stream. We're an hour and 13 minutes into the stream already. That's insane. Hey, Joey, I'm pretty late, but are you still taking Luke? Did anything this week change your mind or make you second guess? I mean, everything has made me second guess that pick. It's just, when you think about it, and Luke's been out for a long while, but I just think if Luke is still remotely as good as he once was, I think he could come back looking like Brian Ortega. And what I say by that is Brian Ortega lost to Max. Everyone thought, okay, he's going to come back, lose to Korean Zombie, went out there, outclassed Korean Zombie. I think the footwork is going to be heavily used by Luke Rockhold in this matchup. I think Costa's short arms, T-Rex arms are going to cost him. I think he's going to land some shots. But I think Luke Rockhold, his chin is over-sensationalized, and it's not as bad as people say it is. He's getting KO'd by Jan Blachowicz and Yoel Romero. Come on now. I know we got KO'd by Bisping, but, outside of that, then it was the Vitor Belfort spinning back heel kick. Luke has experience. I don't think he's coming back for a paycheck. I think he's more motivated than ever. And I think if Costa does get taken down, I think Luke will win on the ground. I think Luke's superior on the ground. And I think Costa's pressure and volume, I could see Luke ducking under and taking him down with relative ease. It's a matter of can he or can he not keep him there. But I'm not confident in that pick. That's the least confident. I'm like 75-25 in the Usman fight. I'm like 90-10 for Aldo. So we'll see how it goes. Hey, Joey, what is your job that you work during the week? Wouldn't you like to know? Will Adams. I have a bad feeling Sean O'Malley's going to back out of his fight with Jan. That would absolutely suck. That would suck big time. What if Leon Edwards beats Usman? What is next for the top contenders at 170? It depends how he beats him. If he dominates him somehow, like let's say he beats him up for 5 rounds, then we'll see Hamzat. But if it's close, then we see an immediate rematch. Costa wouldn't make sense with one win. Rockhold shouldn't, but it makes sense. But there's nobody else is what I'm saying. There's nobody else available. Literally not a soul. I'm a Luke fan. He blocks too much with his face. I think he's done. Yeah, I think a lot of people are saying that. And I don't necessarily disagree with you either. But I went with Rockhold because I started looking at fight footage, and I think Rockhold's a superior fighter everywhere else except the chin issue and the durability issue. I think Luke Rockhold's better on the ground. I think he has better overall striking. I think he has a better variety of attacks. Paulo Costa is incredibly one-dimensional with the boxing. The pressure, and the volume. Has a massive reach disadvantage. I think Costa's jiu-jitsu is way better. His top game is way better. His takedown game is way better. But it's all about, can Rockhold pick him apart from the outside before he gets chinned? I don't know. I think it could be one of those fights also where Rockhold wins early and then gets chinned late, which would be really unfortunate. Any chance you come to MSG November 12th event, get a couple brews with us New York fans? I'm not much of a drinker anymore. I don't drink at all, actually. So as far as the brews, absolutely not. But maybe. I mean, I doubt I'm going to come to the November event. If I can eventually make more money from the channel in the future, I'd like to go to like 2 to 3 events a year and eventually do like a community meetup. But that's probably something we're like 2 years away from, 3 years away from, maybe. Did you see anyone beating Izzy besides Alex? No, I don't. Obviously late, but have you seen Uriah Hall knock out the guy on the Ultimate Fighter? The spinning back kick? Yes, I did. Rip Adams. I don't know what that means. Costa one-dimensional, I agree. I just think Luke has been gone too long. Could very well be the truth. I'm not disagreeing with you there. But we'll see. We'll find out. That's what makes the fight so compelling. Imagine Luke KO's Costa calls out Dana in the UFC about fighter pay, calls out the fake media and full send in Barstool. He would be a hero in the MMA community. I know. That'd be awesome. Costa's going to roid rage on Luke. It's sad. I just hope it's not a brutal KO. Liar, you drink water. Come on, bro. You wouldn't drink one. I've literally never drank in my entire life. I'm not going to drink just because I meet up with an MMA community all of a sudden. T-Rex Arms. Fight Life Nation with the $20 super chat. What's an undercard fight that I should pay attention to that I might not know of? Personally, I think Costa is coming in incredible shape. Also, I've seen Costa look bad once against Izzy. First off, thank you for the $20 super chat. I greatly appreciate it, Fight Life Nation. It'll go towards my pay-per-view tomorrow. Appreciate you. What's a fight on the undercard that you should pay attention to? I'm trying to think. This sounds dumb. What exactly? You mean the prelims, right? Does undercard mean prelims? Correct? I know that sounds like a really dumb question, but I've never thought about it until now. The undercard would be the prelims. The best prelim fight is Marcin Tybura versus Alexander Romanov. The second best prelim fight is probably Sean Woodson versus Luis Saldana. But to be honest, if there's one fight you want to pay attention to, it's Tabora versus Romanov, because Romanov could be a future heavyweight contender. I believe he will be a future heavyweight contender. He's looked better every time out. He hasn't fought the best of competition, but he's looked so good, and he's ever improving. Romanov, I would watch out for. I think the Sean Woodson Luis Saldana fight will be fun, and I'm also looking forward to seeing how AJ Fletcher would look. That's the first fight on the prelims, the televised prelims. AJ Fletcher is that guy that got the crazy flying knee KO on the Contender Series, and a lot of people thought that he would do really good, and then he lost his first UFC fight. So I'm looking forward to that. Outside of that, if you go down to the early prelims, I'm looking forward to seeing Amir Albazi. He is a top 15 ranked flyweight. He's looked good. He only has one loss, and he's fighting Figueiredo's brother. So those are the matchups that I would pay close attention to. Amir Albazi versus Francisco Figueiredo. I'm interested in seeing AJ Fletcher. Not crazy. The Sean Woodson Luis Saldana fight. I'm not thinking either one of these guys is ever going to be a contender, but I think it's going to be a fun fight. And then the main event of the prelims per se, and Marcin Tybura, Alexander Romanov. So there you go. There you go, Fight Life Nation. Thank you for the $20 super chat. I greatly appreciate you. Everything goes back into the channel, as you know. I appreciate it very much. And I hope you join us. Are you going to join us tomorrow for the stream, Fight Life? You have time to join us or no? Yep, MSG tickets suck. Cheapest was $400. If they were like, it's like the Super Bowl if people want to pay. Yeah. When I went, I paid about $600 per ticket to get a decent seat. You never drank alcohol? Nope, not even once. I've never drank or smoked in my entire life. So believe it, take it for what you will, believe it or not. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter to me one way or another. But yep. What's up, Prediction Shark? Sean Woodson, bro. Yep, I already said that. 6'3" with the long reach. I know it's hard to believe he fought at 135. Yeah, prelims, that's what I thought. But I started second guessing myself because you mentioned Costa Rockhold in the question, threw me off. Prelims, hello all. What's up, Zach Singleton? Thank you for being a member of the channel. Drinking overrated, I think it's the Jarrett Gordon fight. Jarrett Gordon fight versus how did I forget that quick? Where's it at? Oh, here he is. Leonardo Santos. I think that'll be a fun fight. Sean is one of my faves since he made it to the UFC. To be honest, he's a killer. He is a killer. After Luke went off on Full Send Reporter for what he did to Marlon Vera, I'm 100% rooting for him, essentially since I'm part Ecuadorian. That doesn't even matter to me about what it was specifically about. They're just garbage coverage to begin with. I mean, listen to their questions. I mean, they were at the press conference asking terrible questions. I watched one of their interviews with Vera as well, and they're like, bro, what's the after party like, bro? Like, no place for it. They should not be getting backstage access. They're literally the definition of like weird frat boy media. It's just straight up garbage. Full Send MMA, it'll probably be gone in a year or two. It's absolute garbage. I would love to be at events asking questions and doing interviews. And it's not like it's out of jealousy. I want everyone to be successful at everything they do. But I mean, the fighters shouldn't have to put up with this straight up garbage. Loser of Fletcher, Lusa gets cut or one more fight. Probably gets cut. Luke looks like he's in the great shape. Yeah, I think he's in great shape too. I think he's more motivated than ever. I think he's not coming back just for a paycheck. I think he's better than ever. I think he's looking better than ever. Now he's not better than ever. We don't know. But he definitely looks in great shape, and I think he's motivated as he could ever been. I'm going to end this poll. 64% says no, the winner should not get a title shot. Fair enough. Bro, you're a gentleman and an MMA scholar. Bravo. Thank you, Zach Singleton, for the 6 months of membership. I greatly appreciate your support. It's hard to believe it's been 6 months. Thank you, Zach Singleton. I appreciate your 6 months of membership. It means a lot, man. It didn't pop up on stream. Those messages don't pop up on StreamYard, so that's why I always have the YouTube tab open and I switch back and forth here and there just to make sure I see anything that might get flagged or anything like that. If you guys are watching the stream and you have not yet, like the stream. It helps push it out to more people. Do you guys want to do a 2-3 hour stream? It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. Run up the likes on the stream. And if you're watching and you're not subscribed, I do these streams before every pay-per-view. Every Friday before a pay-per-view, I do a long, like 2 to 3 hour pre-fight stream. Tomorrow, I'll be doing 2 live streams. I'll be live streaming for probably 4 or 5 hours tomorrow, which is just absolute insanity for me to be sitting in a chair for 4 or 5 hours. I'll be doing the main card of UFC 278. Immediately afterwards, I'll be doing a post-fight. So join me live tomorrow for UFC 278. If you have been living under a rock or missed it, I will be streaming tomorrow. Where was I at? If Luke does call out Dana, can the fans and community behind Luke be enough to push for a title shot, or do you think Dana will still refuse it? I think the MMA community will be against him. I think you overestimate the MMA community. There's a lot of people who are perpetually on the promoter side for whatever reason. They defend the UFC as if they're getting paid to do so. And they'll be like, Luke, you don't deserve to get paid. You have one win and blah, 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 and this and that. But I doubt Luke calls him out. I think Luke will probably, just be happy to get a win. I don't think he'll be thinking like that. You don't seem like it would make no sense for me to lie on stream. Like, what does that achieve for me to go out there? Good for you. Thank you. Do you have any outings planned with the fiance this weekend? The most I usually do is we'll go somewhere like hiking with our dog, take our dog for like a hike. But we might do that tomorrow. But I got a bunch of stuff to do tomorrow, so I don't know. The questions are horrible. Say what you want about Ariel. He's a fan of MMA. Yes, I agree. I will definitely try and join for the stream. I might end up working a local fight between 2 former UFC fighters, Albert Morales versus Tyrion Ware. If I stay home, I'll join the chat for sure. Appreciate you. Full send going to be up Costa's ass. Oh, for sure. If he chins Luke. Yep. I just don't know. Luke looks mad at the world. It could work in his favor. It could backfire on him. Luke seems to have created this imaginary beef with Costa. He seems to be trying hard to make the fight personal. It could very well be. There's multiple ways you can look at it. What's going to be sad is, and looking back at this message from Chrissy, is if Rockhold loses, people are going to say he was focused on all the wrong things. He was focused on all the wrong things, and that's why he lost. I think that's what'll be going on. Why does it feel like there's something here right here? So it's going to be unfortunate. If Luke does lose, I don't mind him losing, but people are going to act like, oh, well, he should have focused on the fight. He was too busy calling out the UFC instead of focusing on his fight. I already know those takes are coming, and maybe they're true, maybe they're not. I don't know, but we'll see. Do you watch Yes, I watch every fight. Rockhold keeps gloating about how, okay, that's weird, but okay. Do you watch any YouTube channels? Yes, but not MMA related. One of my favorite YouTube channels is Indigo Traveler. What else do I watch? I'm trying to think what else I watch. I like channels like that, stuff like that where people are traveling a lot. I'm trying to think of other favorite channels. I watch Mr. Beast. I wouldn't call him one of my favorite channels. I watch him a little bit with his outrageous videos that he does. I'm trying to think, what else do I watch? Let me take a look. See. What else do I watch? Who am I subscribed to? I got so many subscriptions. Half of these I don't watch. I watch Adrenaline Addiction. I watch Advanced Cleaning Systems where they clean carpet and stuff like that, which is, for some reason, I love that type of stuff. What else do I watch? I watch some lawn care YouTube channels all the time. Let's see. Some of these I don't even recognize that are in my subscription list. Let's see. I'm waiting to see one that I recognize before I even mention it. I watch some finance channels. I watch Jim Browning, the guy that takes on hackers. But to be honest, it's I stick to some of these channels, and it's it's crazy. I see my name on here, and it says live next to it as I'm scrolling through because I'm on my personal YouTube channel. I watch some tech videos. I I watch some like construction, like tool channels, stuff like that. I watch Spawn Point, which is like a tech channel. I watch Sunny V2, which I believe is like a documentary-esque channel. The Lawn Care Nut, I watch sometimes. Let's see. I watch the UFC channel. Let's see. What else? That's it. That's all I got on here. That's all I got on here. I don't really watch. I watch like probably like 10 channels, but I like binge watch channels too. And then switch to something else after a while. I watch Bright Sun Films, which I think is another like weird documentary channel. I watch Company Man. I don't know if anybody ever heard of that. I watch Copper Creek Cuts Lawn Care, which is where they just cut obnoxiously long lawns. Yeah, so there you go. There's some of the ones I watch. And some tech channels too. So there you go. There you go. Where was I at? It'll be pretty crazy if Luke KOs Costa with a head kick and Leon KOs Usman with a head kick. Yeah, that would be crazy. Colby versus Leon, who wins? I think Colby's striking is worse than Usman's probably. But again, the cardio of Leon, I probably go Colby. I can't wait to see Jose Aldo rip body shots. Me too. I love when he starts ripping body shots. Did Leon disrespect the schmo out of loyalty to Ariel? No, he was just asking dumb questions. It's actually really annoying. It's really annoying. The questions he was asking were just so dumb. What Rocky character are you? I mean, do you guys realize how dumb that is? I don't know why. I have like a felt mat here, and it keeps like feeling like there's something on it. And I don't know what it is. What are your thoughts on Paige being pulled from BKFC tomorrow? In all honesty, I never watched BKFC, but Paige, it was due to ticket sales, and they lied. They tried to lie and cover it up. It's because they weren't selling tickets. I want Merab to win, but if he does, him and Aljo become why would you want Merab to win? Somebody block Dabrowski. One of the mods block Dabrowski, please. I can't believe you want Aldo to lose, bro. I'm going to 278 for my birthday. Pray for me. I will pray for you. I hope you have a good time, bro. Any advice for growing a beard? Going to give it a shot when it gets cooler. I have no advice. Mine just grows on its own. Rockhold reminds me of Tony's last fight. Tony tried to call out Dana in UFC, and it kind of backfired. I hope not. It sounds like Aljo going to move up soon. Probably. He's not going to have no success at 45. Not really. Not really at all. I barely watch the countdowns or the embeddeds. I don't even watch all the countdowns or the embeddeds. Like, I couldn't be more I watch interviews, fighter interviews, especially the super relevant ones. I'll watch fighter scrums, Dana White scrums. Outside of that, I already dedicated enough time to talking about MMA. I just don't got the mind space to watch enough of it. Imagine Rockhold dethrones Izzy. That'd be straight up insanity. I watch Company Man. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, I enjoy that. It's not like I watch it constantly, but it's a good one to watch. Usman not getting knocked out, I would put a G on that. Fair enough. The schmo does get carried away. Yeah, I mean, I respect him for trying to do something different, but it's just like, dude, come on now. And then you add on to the fact that I feel like he's pretending to be someone on the spectrum, which I don't really, I think kind of is a little bit distasteful to begin with. I don't know if that's exactly what he's aiming for, but that's what it seems like. But yeah, I think it's one of those things that's kind of worn out its welcome with a lot of fighters. But he does good interviews. I got to admit that. The Schmo always asks weird questions. Do you see Masvidal beating Gilbert? No. Joey, I love you, but the video on Fighter Pay you made is not fair to the organization or data. Why did media never address bonus and fighter pay when it comes to one championship and others? Because they're not the biggest organization out there. They're just not. They're not the biggest organization. Whatever is on this thing is driving me up a wall. But yeah, it's not. How is that even the same thing? That's like comparing some off-brand thing, and they're probably not getting paid enough either. But the point is the UFC has the revenue to pay more, and it doesn't happen. So take it for what you will. You can say it's unfair to the organization. I just think when the entire payroll of a UFC pay-per-view is covered strictly by the live gate, is doubled by the live gate, I think we got a little bit of an issue here. And I'm not one of these maniacs that's saying the UFC needs to pay 60% to the fighters. No, I'm not saying that. But we should get higher than like 12%, okay? Without the fighters, it is nothing. I understand the UFC is the one that built the organization. I understand that. I understand they're out there paying for commercials. They're doing the promotion. I understand that. But I think it's a low. To be fair, off long-time MMA media asking, yeah, everyone asks dumb questions, to be fair. You're right. I like Countdown and embed it. I watch everyone. Fair enough. Fair enough. I just don't feel like I have the time to. If I have free time, I'm literally on here talking to you guys. So if you guys are enjoying that, make sure to like the stream. Make sure to like the stream. Assuming he can make weight, though, who beats Merab at 125? I don't know how his chin would look like at 125. Blanchfield Molly pick. If it's Blanchfield, how many fights away is she from a title shot? Maybe 2. The division isn't particularly fruitful. I'm definitely taking Blanchfield. Molly doesn't have a chance in that one, probably. Yeah, less than 25%. We're talking like around 10%. Insanity. And for everyone saying, this is the dumbest argument that I ever hear. People are saying, like, they'll talk about a prelim fighter. Let's pick one off of UFC 278. Let's just pick one. Let's go with Daniel De Silva. People will say, yeah, people are buying the card to watch Daniel De Silva. That's besides the point. The UFC needs a certain amount of fights. It doesn't matter who the names are to fill out cards. Those cards are then filled out with advertisements. Those cards then fill out TV obligations and obligations to ESPN Plus. And at the end of the day, they are generating revenue for the UFC. And at the end of the day, the UFC needs them to be there. They need Daniel De Silva to be there because they need that space for ad space and talking about commercials, talking about certain brands. They need the on-air shot of the octagon to show the sponsors on the mats. Those fighters are relevant to the revenue of the UFC. Is it the biggest boost in revenue? No. But at the end of the day, I feel like there's a lot of people who think just because they're a prelim fighter, oh, well, they don't add any pay-per-view buys, they don't matter. Yeah, you don't think they matter? Then why does the UFC even have them? Then cancel the whole thing. Just do a main card then. The UFC sells that ad space. They sell those sponsorship deals, whether it be Venom, Crypto.com, or whatever the hell it is. All that stuff in the apparel. They need those fighters there. They need them to fill a spot. It doesn't matter how big their name is or they're drawing in pay-per-view buys. It doesn't matter. They need people there. They just need warm bodies there. And I get at the end of the day, oh, well, if they just need warm bodies there, they can sign anyone. That may be true. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it ethical, okay? It may be the truth, but it doesn't make it ethical, okay? These guys should not be getting paid $10K to risk their lives, okay? And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the number is. I'm not one of these people that's saying everyone needs to make $100K. But there needs to be a boost. And there needs to be some extra benefits for fighters. And I don't think that really should be up for debate. I really don't. Okay. Should UFC give every finish on a card a $50K bonus? That way you take away boringness and minimize bad judging. Would be good for the sport, would help pay too. I like that idea. I don't know if that's feasible. I don't know if that's taking it a little bit too far. Maybe everyone who gets a finish gets $25K. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that implemented. Anything that brings extra revenue to fighters is something I would like to see try to be implemented. And I understand the UFC still has to make their money. I get that. But if you're out there blindly defending the UFC, we got a problem. We see this all the time. I don't really watch the NFL anymore, but we see it all the time in the NFL. People are criticizing players for going to other teams. Oh, because they had to make these millions of dollars. You're literally defending billionaires to millionaires, okay? You're defending these billionaire owners to millionaire NFL players. When people are criticizing, like when a star player leaves one team and goes to the other, now they're making 150 million or whatever. There's people out there saying they're a traitor, they're greedy. You do realize the owners are literally billionaires. They look at the players as literal poor people. The people you look up as rich as hell, are the owners look at them as poor. And I'm so sick and tired of these people. And I love MMA. I love watching UFC. The UFC is the best organization in the world. They have the best promotion. They have the best fighters. They have the best events. Without the UFC, MMA is non-existent, basically. But these people who have this blind loyalty to the UFC, and they'll attack any fighter for complaining about their fighter pay, and they're, not getting paid enough, and they don't have enough benefits. I don't get it. I don't get it. You're literally defending a $1 billion organization against a guy or woman who is probably not even a millionaire. And just because they make more money than you doesn't make it all right. You can say, oh, well, I have to work 60 hours to put food on the table. That doesn't matter. That's a sad story. I'll play the world's smallest violin for you. But it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. That doesn't make it right. Okay? Just because you're struggling more than these fighters doesn't make it right. And these people that go out there and blindly just gobble up everything the UFC and Dana White says are the most annoying people I've ever seen in my entire life. I can't imagine defending a $1 billion organization over paying literal, scraps to these undercard fighters. And then they say, well, Bellator prelim fighters pay less or boxing undercard fighters get paid less. I don't care. I do not care. Now, I feel bad for these guys too. But the point is, when I say I don't care in comparison is what I mean. The UFC is the biggest organization that makes the most revenue. Now, there's probably legitimate gripes to be had about the pay structure of boxing or Bellator. That doesn't change the fact two wrongs don't make a right. Just because, Bellator or these boxing undercards are underpaying their boxers, which I don't know enough about to even discuss, that's not an excuse for the UFC to do the same thing. And if you're out there blindly defending them, I don't know what's wrong with you. You better be cashing a paycheck from the UFC. Like Ariel Helwani's been super outspoken about fighter pay the last year, 2 years. For 10 years, he wasn't like that because the UFC had Ariel Helwani on their payroll. And I knew it for a long time. And then once he left, he said the UFC in Zuffa was signing his checks. So I get it. I'm happy that he's bringing light to it now. But at the same time, dude, you were quiet for 10 years. Majority quiet. Let me just put it that way. You probably mentioned it here and there. But the vast majority of the time, you were quiet and pushing any agenda the UFC wanted. So we got to stop making equivalencies that don't matter. Just because this company's underpaying their fighters or their boxers or their employees doesn't make it right. Just because your company that you work for is underpaying you and these fighters are getting paid more than you doesn't make it right. It makes no sense to compare those two and try to make them equivalent. It just bothers me that people just gobble up what Dana and the UFC says for no reason. And I love the organization. I love watching UFC. I love watching these fights. But at the same time, I feel like not enough people talk about it. It's talked about enough. It's talked about, more than it used to be. But I feel like people, especially, let's just say your generic MMA YouTube channel, and I know that doesn't really matter. I'm nobody. But they don't talk about it because it's not fun. It's not fun to discuss. But I've told you guys for, a year and 3 months now, year and 4 months, I'm going to talk about on this channel what I find interesting, but also what I think is important to discuss, and also certain topics that may get a lot of hate. I've done videos talking about Eagle FC that's gotten a lot of hate. I've done videos about fighters having caught like followings and being overrated that has gotten a lot of hate. I don't care about backlash. I am always going to say what I think, regardless of what anybody thinks about it, even if it's the most unpopular opinion there ever was. So it is what it is. I'm glad we talked about it here. I don't even remember what question I was answering at this point because somebody got me off on a tangent. But yes, anything that improves fighter pay, even just a little bit. Let's say a 5% increase for every fighter. Bare minimum, you're fighting in the UFC should be making $20K. Something along those lines. I don't know the financials of the UFC and the organization, but I know this for a fact. They can make an increase to fighter pay. Okay, I know that for a fact. And they can still make a hefty profit. And at the end of the day, that's all I need to know to speak out about it. Okay, there we go. Let's move on. Hopefully we catch up. I know there's probably someone trashing me in the chat for saying, "Oh, dude, you don't know nothing," but I don't care. If Merab is still durable, he might run through every 25er. That is true. He could ragdoll. He'd ragdoll Figueiredo if his chin wasn't gone. If Nate somehow beats Hamzat, who would make sense for Usman to fight, then nothing would make sense if that somehow happened. You know what? I never gave that a thought, Steve. I never gave that a thought. If Hamzat were to lose to Nate, which isn't going to happen, the next up would be Bilal, Sean Brady winner would fight for the title. I agree. Every fighter, every finish should get a bonus. The champion has a name. Okay. Who would you pick, TJ versus Aldo? I would want to pick Jose Aldo, but at the same time, I think TJ would probably finish him in the late rounds. Remember how terrible 25 used to be when DJ ruled it? It honestly wasn't fun to watch. I still enjoyed it. I think the UFC just didn't promote it enough. I mean, who doesn't remember the DJ win over Ray Borg, the flying armbar, with the Kyoji Horiguchi fight? I loved all those matchups. Now, is it more exciting now, and is the depth of talent deeper? Yes. Would it be fair to say Bilal, Brady? Yes, I already said that. That's funny. I did not see that message. I fly out to Utah tomorrow morning, my first pay-per-view. I'm pretty excited. Hopefully Rocky pulls it off. I hope you have a good time, Junior Murillo. I hope you have a good time. They took away fighters getting sponsors, and Venom pays $4,500. Yeah, what grinds my gears about that, and it really pisses me off, is they took sponsors away from the fighters because they said they wanted to clean up the sport and get a more professional look. Then right afterwards, they go out and they get sponsors for the fighters that the UFC is now collecting the money. And look at the ugly ass mat. I mean, if I was a billionaire tomorrow, I would call up the UFC and be like, how much do I have to pay for you to just have a plain mat? I'll pay whatever the sponsors are paying. This is if I'm a billionaire. I don't want to see all these ugly ass advertisements on the mat. I think it detracts from the experience, and it's actually really annoying. I mean, they got hundreds of sponsors on the mat. They even got the new digital advertisements around the cage on the little walking platform. So they took away sponsors from the fighters to then clean up the look, but then now they got the mat, and they got, I mean, the walkout Venom t-shirts. I know we joke about how much we love Venom and joking around. The shit with the crypto.com shit plastered on the chest is some of the ugliest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Do you see that when you watch the NFL? Do you see that when you watch the NBA? Do you see that when you watch the MLB? The answer is no. The shit looks cheesy. You got plastering a Superman crypto.com advertisement on their chest. It annoys me. And then none of the money is actually going to the fighters. Do you see Rachmanov beating Usman? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I'll say in 2 years, yes. This is really driving me nuts right here. There's something in this mat that I keep feeling. Okay. Guys, if you're watching the stream right now, and this is the first time you've watched the channel, I do a live stream on the Friday before every pay-per-view. So subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to get the 5,000 subscribers. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the stream. And also don't forget to like the stream. I think Rachmanov could beat him in the future. Do you think DJ would be the champ in the current flyweight division? No. I think he lost a step at this point. The players in the NFL getting 50-50 revenue split. The payers are cattle to NFL owners. Agreed. My sources just told me John Jones is going live on IG. Well, Instagram sent me an update. Fair enough. Other sports and UFC play is completely different. You can be a third-string QB and make more than a UFC champion. Exactly. I've always said my dream sports job would be like a third-string quarterback. Dana deflects and starts a mixed martial arts. It says start a mixed martial art. Yeah. What are your thoughts on UFC officially marking Costa versus Rockhold? It's stupid. I honestly think it's stupid, to be quite honest. I blame the fighters. They need to stick together. UFC knows how to decide them. O'Malley sold out. He never talks about Fighter K. Blame it on the richer fighters. I don't know who to blame it on. Not one reporter asked Luke about fighter pay when Dana was at the press conference, and they didn't ask Dana about it either. And I understand it, though. As much as I hate on it, I understand why they do it. The UFC does not pay the most in MMA. They give fighters the biggest exposure. They do not pay the best. Most fighters that leave the UFC get paid more elsewhere. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Some of the low-level UFC guys who aren't making much could make more starring in Bellator, but choose to make less in the UFC in hopes of winning a couple UFC fights and getting a big contract. Yeah, for sure. If UFC increased fighter pay, they would still be able to partner with ESPN like they do now. That's the real question. Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, they're increasing the cost of ESPN Plus and the cost of pay-per-views, but none of that goes to the fighters. If Jose loses, I'd like to see him cruise in Brazil. That makes a lot of sense. I'd like to see that as well. Leon will win. I think he should beat up Usman's legs. He is not susceptible to takedowns and keep him on the end of the 1-2 tees and head kicks. I think you mean teeps. Yeah, but I think he's going to gas out in the later rounds. I think he'll gas out. Not gas out, but he'll be too tired, and Usman will still be pushing the pace on him. So it's one of those things. I could see him having very successful first and second round. Do you believe if Aldo gets a title shot, do you think he defends or retires afterwards? I think he retires. Costa said in a YouTube video he reached out to UFC a month before the Vettori fight and told them about the injury. UFC told him they'd make it to 205, but they trashed him for missing weight. I honestly believe it. I thought something weird was going on at the time, and the UFC was dead quiet on it. The media bashed him, but the UFC didn't say much about it. The UFC did not say much about it. The UFC needed to keep that. You can go back and find it. I'm sure I did live streams around the time and also in the videos. The UFC wasn't super critical because they knew something and they wanted to keep that fight and card intact. The mats are covered with ads. I wonder what they pay for. Yeah. What do you think of Dana saying the UFC won't see a dime from the Reebok deal or something like that? It's not just factually incorrect. What do you believe the minimum pay for a UFC fighter? I reckon probably 35 for show money should be the standard. I don't know what the answer is, but definitely more than 12. What's up, Joey? What's going on? In some professions, people literally go into a profession just to make a lot of money. Problem is that a lot of MMA fighters are in it because they love doing MMA, which is cool, but also bad in the way. I am 6'3". If you watch box, I don't watch it. I'm sorry. Had no pay-per-view, just Dyson subscriptions with a women headliner MSG. They both had 7-figure payouts. Gon versus Ngannou did 500K pay-per-view buys at $80, and Ngannou made 600K. I don't know if those numbers are accurate as far as pay-per-view buys. They do not release them, but UFC 270 was definitely a terrible payout. Backup quarterback is the best position in sports, millions, and you never get hit unless the starter. Yeah, that's why I want third string. Imagine if Ronda, Conor, and Brock started a fighters reunion back then. Conor can probably still do. Conor's not going to do it because he's already getting big paychecks, so he doesn't care. Is Eagle FC dying? I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't paid close enough attention to it. Should Zuffa purchase Bellator or ONE FC? Does Zuffa still technically own the UFC? I don't think Zuffa still owns it. It's WME now. Zuffa doesn't own. No sponsors, no banner, no raise in fighter bonuses, and inflation means these fighters are making less than the old days. Exactly. Adjusted for inflation in 2010, the $50K bonus is now less than $37,000. Is ESPN re-signing with the UFC? ESPN is paying for 500 pay-per-view buys every pay-per-view, but the UFC is kind of failing right now. I have no idea. So we'll see. Roberto Soldic, one of the best prospects outside the UFC, had a deal between the UFC and ONE. He had to choose because the deal was better. Doesn't surprise me. If Aldo loses this fight, does he retire? I hope not. Paulo locked, Rockhold getting slept. I smell an upset in the main event. We'll see. The Weasel said he thinks that fighter pay issues ultimately comes from fighters just not coming together. Yeah. I mean, definitely. Because what will happen is if somebody complains and say, oh, well, I'm not fighting, just next man up. What would Marlon Moraes' career look like if he had a chin? He'd probably be bantamweight champion right now. I would pick a non-chinny Marlon Moraes with a decent gas tank against Piotr Jan. Thoughts on Moicano versus Riddell? Who do you see winning? I think Riddell wins that one. What are your thoughts on USADA showing up early to test fighters early in the AM? Costa was very unhappy as they shoved a needle in him to take blood as he was cutting weight. I'm not a big fan of that. But I mean, I guess it's the cost of trying to keep a semi-clean sport. I'm really good at reading fight week energy. I was watching Longo. They know wins this fight. I'm sorry. I'm really good when it get a read. Not good for Aldo. I disagree, but okay. Do you care to see an Emmett Yair fight for an interim title? No, I do not. I do not want to see that. What are your predictions for the top 3 fights? Aldo by second round TKO, Rockhold by second round submission, and Kamaru Usman by decision. I have full breakdown and prediction videos on the channel. So feel free to check those out. Fighters won't come together because someone like Derek. Exactly. Or what about when Tony Ferguson stood up for Dustin Poirier and Dustin Poirier left him out in the dirt? If Aldo loses this weekend, I like the idea of Cruz versus Aldo at 283 in Brazil. Aldo needs to be on that Brazil card. Moraes used to be scary. I agree 100%. I thought for sure when he came, I used to watch him in WSOF. When he came over, I said he's going to be the bantamweight champion for sure. Should Pantoja fight the winner of Brandon versus Davison? 100%. Pantoja's earned a title shot. I low-key missed the tap-out shirt, Mohawk, tribal tattoo era of MMA. Times were simpler back then. That's hilarious. Could fighters like Masvidal, Chimaev, and Israel? No. I don't think anyone will ever make a fighters union. It's every man for himself. And it is what it is, unfortunately. Guys, if you're watching the stream right now and you don't follow me on Twitter and Instagram, go follow me at MMA Joey C. At MMA Joey C. Go follow me, and maybe I'll follow you back. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Also, guys, if you've been living under a rock and you haven't been here for the stream and if you missed other streams, tomorrow night I will be going live for the main card of UFC 278. So join me, get my live reaction and analysis to the main card of UFC 278, the first ever pay-per-view that I will be streaming on this channel, which is going to be insane. We're looking at a history of the channel, 100%. If you had to put money on one champ being on steroids, who do you choose? If I had to pick money on one champ, I'll probably say Izzy, but I don't know who is or isn't on steroids. I'm just saying. I just throw him out there because of all the speculation around that and that, weird issue. I don't necessarily say I'm not confident that he is, but I'm just saying he makes more sense than anyone else probably. Pre-Cejudo fight, Moraes was straight up a menace. It was a sad decline. Yeah, I thought he was going to beat Henry, and he was winning that fight early until he gassed. If Span KOs Reyes, what's next for Reyes? Retirement or Bellator or PFL? When will people admit Usman illegally finished Colby? I disagree, but okay. Aldo defeats Merab, then wins his title back in Brazil. That would be my dream. I would absolutely love that as well. How was your evening? My evening was good, Mario. How was yours? If Pereira fought Paulo at 185, how do you see it going? I think Pereira would KO him unless Paulo Costa was dedicated to grappling him. I'm not wasting $80 on an Izzy main event. Fair enough. What pay-per-view looks worse on paper, 272 or 279? 279 unequivocally. 279 is the worst pay-per-view I've ever seen on paper ever. Yudong versus Sandhagen prediction. Personally, I could see that one. I could see Song possibly catching Sandman. I'm probably going Corey Sandhagen. I think he's just better everywhere outside of power. Technically, you live streamed 267, but it wasn't an official pay-per-view. Exactly. What rules do you want to change for the UFC if you were the creator? Like, would you change the gear or the ring? I have no idea. I would take all the ads off the canvas, and I would never change the canvas to gold, even for a 200 event. They ruined UFC 200 with the yellow canvas. If you haven't seen it, Google UFC 200 canvas. The ugliest shit I've ever seen in my life. I was mortified, and it ruined the entire event for me. Do you believe Bilal can be the first to beat Brady? I think it's possible. I lean Bilal, but I might pick Brady. I was watching the Full Send podcast. That was your first mistake with Colby, and realized these guys don't. Yeah, they don't know anything about MMA. Can Pereira KO Vettori? Yes, he could, but he wouldn't, because Vettori would grapple him. Vettori would definitely grapple him, and Vettori would beat up Pereira. Dawkins versus Rosenstrike is signed for October. Any thoughts? Not particularly excited for it. I think it could go either way. I'll probably go Rosenstrike. What chance do you give Diaz against Chimaev? 1%, and that's Chimaev getting flukily injured, kicking Diaz and probably breaking his toe or something. Do you think John Jones will actually fight in December? No, I'm going to say no. I hate Colby and love Usman, but objectively, his stoppage was illegal. Colby finished with back of the head shots. Dude, they were close. They were close, but it is what it is. Either way, it is what it is. It happens all the time. The right hand that dropped him wasn't illegal. Low key rooting for Leon because, and in either way, we got a rematch, we got a decision, and people are never going to accept it. Low key rooting for Leon because of the potential matches with Chimaev and Masvidal that need to happen. Yeah, but I want to see Usman versus Chimaev. Would you rather see Gamrot or versus Fiziev, or Gaethje versus Fiziev? Is that even a question, Jordy? What kind of question is that, Jordy? What are we talking about there? We need Fiziev versus Gaethje. That's the only matchup we need to say. Are the Nelk boys yeah, I mean, I don't listen to them too much, but the little bit I heard, they're terrible. What fight from history would you make? Mine is Lesnar versus Fedor or DC versus Fedor. I would make Anthony Rumble Johnson versus John Jones, both in their primes. Absolutely not. Paddy Pimblett going to get beat by the first legitimate fighter he fights. If Michael Chandler beats Dustin, do you think he can beat Islam if Islam is the champ? Yes, I think Michael Chandler is a unique style matchup for Islam, and he probably could beat Islam. I'm not saying I'd favor him, but Islam Makhachev versus Michael Chandler would be a lot of fun. Can't stand when Dana says, if you know how to run a promotion, go ahead and make one. It drives me nuts. I mean, that's all he ever says when he's asked legitimate questions. You know, but it is what it is. They said they've been working on long-term health care for years. Since day one, they've been working on long-term health care. I don't know if anybody else saw the interview, but Dana said that in the interview. We've been working on long-term health care for years. So you're telling me you ain't able to get it done at this point in time? What is going on here? It's taken you over 20 years and you haven't been able to get it. I don't remember what year they bought the organization. The organization's been around since 1993, but I can't remember what year they bought it. It's just weird. Patty versus Logan open weight. Do you think Lawrence Sanko will ever do commentary on the actual UFC card? Is it bad for business? I think it's possible. Do you see any unranked fighters who you think could be champion? Probably, but off the top of my head, I can't think of any. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. But there's probably some. Leon winning tomorrow will be best for the UFC. It opens up so many fresh fights. No, I want to see Usman versus Chimaev. In my opinion, Patty's hurting himself by bulking up to 200 pounds. Makes him less available to step in on short notice. I don't think he wants to step in on short notice. I'm going to Thailand to work on my striking and train with Fiziev. He's a legit killer. That's awesome. Dude, I still can't believe how much weight Patty put on since the 11th fight. That's not good for a pro athlete. Yeah, I'm sure it's not that good. Why do some no names in boxing make more than a heavyweight champion? I have no idea how it works as far as that. Jeff Patterson with the $20 donation. Congrats on the first pay-per-view live stream tomorrow. I am going to the fights, but maybe I will bring some headphones and listen in. Thank you for all your great content. Number one YouTuber by far. Jeff Patterson with his first message in live stream that I remember, and it's the $20 holla. Appreciate you, Jeff. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I'm glad you're enjoying the streams. I appreciate your donation to the channel, the $20 donation. I greatly appreciate you, man. And yeah, first pay-per-view stream tomorrow. We're going to see how it does, how people enjoy it, how people respond to it. And then I'm not going to stream. I'm not going to commit to streaming every pay-per-view, but I'll mix in, quite a few. If people really enjoy it and people really want to see it, I will try to do it more often. But I always do these pre-fight streams the day before, every Friday before pay-per-view. I will be here live around somewhere between 8 and 10 o'clock Eastern time, p.m. Eastern time, obviously. But thank you, Jeff Patterson. I appreciate your donation. And I hope it's a great card. I mean, there was a bunch of subscribers that went to the UFC Austin card. And I mean, that was one of the greatest fight night cards we've ever seen. So I hope that UFC 278 really delivers. And if you pop in for a little bit while you're at the event, and if you have Instagram, follow me on Instagram and send me some pictures of your seats at the event. If you do, if you don't, that's fine. But pop in for a message and let us know you're watching for a little bit. That'll be awesome. Appreciate you, Jeff. Appreciate you, Jeff. I wish UFC gave access to questions because gave you access to ask questions because most of the MMA media asks low tier questions to fighters. Yeah, it's just terrible. I mean, it's terrible. The questions that are asked are some of the worst. Figgy's brother. Yeah, I don't think Figgy's brother is going to be a champion, if that's what you're asking. Why are you complaining? You eat what you kill, Joey. Looks like you've been doing a lot of killing. Oh, good one. Good one, bro. Goodbye. Good one. I'm hearing that Holland versus Wonderboy is happening in November. If that's true, what are your thoughts on it? I'm not particularly excited about it. I mean, it's a decent fight. But I think Wonderboy probably picks Holland apart from the outside. Michael Chiesa versus Ian Gary. Who do you got? Michael Chiesa all day. I think he takes him down, out-grapples him. Do you think the UFC numbers reflects the growth Dana swears the UFC experience? These pay-per-view numbers don't seem different and honestly are flopping this year. There's been no official release of pay-per-view numbers. So Patty said once he gets more serious fights, he's going to stop bulking up. Fair enough. I hope he does. Hope he doesn't. I don't care. As long as he's going out there and making weight, it doesn't matter to me. What's next for Gaethje? I want to see Rafael Fiziev, and I think that's the only fight to make. And I think it will happen in November, December. Mark my words. Wait a second. Hold on. I want somebody to clip this and send it to me if it actually happens, all right? It is August 19th, and I'm hearing from sources that in November or December, we are going to get an amazing lightweight matchup, Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. I am hearing from sources that we are going to get Gaethje versus Fiziev in November or December. Breaking news. There you have it right there. Somebody clip it out and send it to me in the future. If you could guarantee one fighter wins tomorrow, who is it? Aldo. What's next for El Kagui? Conor McGregor, I'll say. Joe, if you don't mind me, what state do you live in? I'm from Illinois. I'm from Maryland. Is Sherdog banned from UFC media? I have no idea, actually. Favorite prospect outside the top 15 in each weight class. In each weight class, Jack? I have no idea. That's a hefty question. That is a hefty question. I'll give you a couple, though. I'll say at bantamweight, Saeed Nurmagomedov. At welterweight, they're ranked now. Shavkat's ranked. I'll say at lightweight, Guram Kutladze, I think is how you pronounce his name. Heavyweight, absolutely nobody. Flyweight, I feel like there's somebody, but now I can't remember. I don't know. I have to think about it. I would have to look and pick somebody out. Right now, off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone from each weight class. I just listened to this show in the background, but wanted to hop on and ask if you think, which card are you more excited for? 280, 281, or 282? Undoubtedly 280, the most stacked card on paper I've ever seen. Is it me or is the show pissing you off every time you hear him talk? Dude's getting old. Yeah, we talked about this earlier, Amir. I don't enjoy it. I think it's worn out its welcome. And they're just, I mean, the questions are dumb. He's shouting into the mic. I respect him for trying to be something different, but maybe we ditch the gimmick now. And also, I don't really. I think he pretends to be someone on the spectrum, which you can argue about whether or not that's what he's doing. I don't know. I haven't heard him say what he's actually doing, but that's kind of distasteful as well. But I'm just tired of the dumb questions, to be honest. So yeah, I would agree with you. Mario with the $20 super chat. We've had nothing but $20 super chats tonight. It's been all $20 donations tonight. Keep up the great content. I get most of my MMA info from you. Thank you, Mario. I appreciate your support. It means a lot. I'm going to continue just to try to be consistent. That's what I've been trying to do since I started this channel, is just be consistent, make videos of stuff that I feel like is important, but people are also interested in. And I'm going to just continue to do that. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. I was telling Derek, I had a video call with one of the members, Derek. He called me on Instagram video. And I was telling him, when I used to look for MMA content, I couldn't find anything that I liked. So that the fact that you're watching the content, Mario, you're getting the majority of your information from me, Mario, and you're enjoying the content, I couldn't ask for more. I do this for fun. I appreciate your support, and it means a lot to me. And we got another $20 super chat from Jordy. Jordy, I appreciate your content. I feel like you're better than Guru and the Weasel. Keep doing your work, and I'll always be a fan, and I hope one day to see you get 1 million subs. I appreciate you. Thanks a lot. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to be me. I'm not trying to be anybody else. I don't really watch either one of these guys, but I always wish success for everyone, to be quite honest, because a lot of people think of, like, I feel like on YouTube in particular, a lot of people think of it as like some type of competition. But for me, I feel like the more MMA channels that are elevated elevates all MMA channels, if that makes sense. So I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I will keep up the work. And 1 million subs, it might take 15 years, but we'll do it. We'll do it. I'm looking forward to 5K subs. So we'll see. We've actually doubled the channel size since April. So since April, we have doubled the channel size, Jordy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you a lot. Yeah, the donations are coming in tonight. The donations, all of them have been $20 super chats. Everything that's come in tonight has been $20 super chat. So if anybody else wants to send a $20 super chat, the little money sign is down below, or someone can one-up them and send a $50 super chat. I appreciate your guys' donations. They're not required, but I really do appreciate them. Who's objectively the worst champion of all time skill-wise? There's only two options. Nico Montana, which some people may not know. She was the first ever women's flyweight champion off The Ultimate Fighter, never defended the belt. Or it's Juliana Pena. It's one of those two. It's one of those two. Is Charles the greatest lightweight if he beats Islam? Yes. I agree, Jordy. Thank you, Mario. Thank you. Joe, you are my UFC family. Appreciate you. And that's my goal. I've talked about it on here quite a few times. My goal is to not only have a channel where I can get out my thoughts, because I've talked about this a little bit, but probably not enough on the channel. But hold on 1 second. Brandon, thank you for the $10 holla. No, dude, you didn't break the pattern. I appreciate the $10 donation. Sorry to break the pattern tonight, but respect to the channel. Thank you, Brandon. I greatly appreciate it. Either way, you're continuing the pattern of donations, so I appreciate you. Brandon's been watching for a while, and I greatly appreciate your donation. All the money goes back into the channel. You're going to see, guys, I'm going to schedule my live stream for tomorrow. I have one of the best thumbnails I've ever had for the channel, and I paid to have it created for me. I have an amazing UFC 278 live watch-along thumbnail. So thank you guys for the donations. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, all you guys who already donated before. And appreciate your $10. Every dollar matters, whether it's $1, $5, $10. I appreciate you. So anyway, what I was talking about, and I don't talk about enough on the channel, I always felt like after these events, I had all these thoughts, right? I had all these thoughts that I felt like a lot of media wasn't saying, nobody was saying online. There was just certain things that used to drive me nuts that weren't said. And so after a big event, I just go up and I get in bed and I'm like thinking all these things, and I'm like, damn, I ain't even got nobody to tell this to. I ain't even got nobody to tell this to. I ain't even got nobody to discuss MMA with. There was very few, if any, there really was no channels MMA channels that I enjoy. And people ask me about it to this day. I don't really watch any MMA channels, barely any. Like, other than just to check out different things, I don't remember the last time I watched like a full video of an MMA channel. You know, I watched some interviews. I watched some James Lynch's videos. I'm happy he's doing some more opinion videos. But outside of that, I really don't watch much. And I dedicate most of my free time, 90% of my free time to running this channel. And now I have a spot that not only I can give out my thoughts, but there's people who have said to me multiple times, this is the only channel I watch. And I can't believe that. I appreciate it because I know being in a spot where you can't find a channel that you feel like is something that suits you. So not only are you guys enjoying it, I'm enjoying doing it, because otherwise I have all these thoughts in my head that I can't get out. So what's in Paulo Costa's secret juice? No idea. It's probably just water, honestly. Joey Gahn was robbed against Ngannou. You're crazy if you think otherwise. I'm just going to have to laugh at that one. I think Charles needs one more title defense after Islam to be lightweight GOAT. Yeah, they're going to crap on his title defenses, though, just because of the fact that they're not title defenses. He didn't defend against Gaethje, and he didn't defend against Islam, so he only has one title defense against Dustin. Can't wait for tomorrow's stream. I'm excited. I'm excited to do it. What's up, MMA Joey? I should be here for the stream. Awesome. Appreciate you. If you don't defend the belt, you are not the champion. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it's definitely a problem as far as your resume goes. About 9 to 10 o'clock. The latest I will start is 10 p.m. Eastern time on the dot. But I'll probably start, if I had to guess, I'll probably start about 9:30. And I'll still be doing a live post-fight afterwards. I used to watch Chael's YouTube channel a lot, but he just talks in circles. Do you watch UFC fights by yourself? I either watch them with you guys, or my fiance has been a fan as long as I have. We started watching the sport together. So she actually watches all the events with me. And if I'm up here streaming, she watches my stream as well as the event downstairs. So it's actually pretty hilarious. I almost sent a picture in the Discord one time. I ran off stream to go to the bathroom during a fight night stream, and she was in the bedroom just laying down with her iPad with me on the stream on one and the fights on the other. And I was thinking, like, damn, that's true love right there. If Leon Rockhold or Merab wins tomorrow, I'll donate $75. Jeez Louise, I don't want Merab to win. I don't want your 75. Rockhold, I'll take it. I wish us MMA fans had more people to talk to about MMA. Yeah, that's the goal of this channel, was to create a community that not only you guys can interact with me, but with each other as well. And that's why I don't really put up with people just coming out of nowhere, being disrespectful and being annoying. And it's because I want to create a great community that we can all talk to each other as well. And the Discord community, if you guys want a great community, join the members Discord. It's a great place to talk MMA. We're in there 24/7. Legalized Ranch continuing the donation streak. The $5 donation, there's no message with it, but thank you for the $5 donation. I greatly appreciate it, my friend. I greatly appreciate it. Late to the chat, but someone might ask this, but what do you think about Costa shaking the ring girl's hands at the ceremonial weigh-ins? Pretty funny. I can't remember that. I think he might have done that before. Go back and look at the last time he fought and see if he did it then too. I'm thinking of donating $75 towards wings and steaks. Haha, you know how I do it over here. Yeah, I'll accept it now. So I'll accept it. Donate it in the chat. Or also, if anybody ever wants to donate via PayPal, I have a PayPal link in the description. If you ever want to donate via PayPal, I know some people prefer to do it that way. But appreciate all the donations tonight. I'm at least going to pay for my pay-per-view tomorrow. So keep the donations coming. I greatly appreciate it. I'm waiting for Niles' 75 now. I want that to come in now, and I'll really be set. The two brothers from Canada also have a nice channel. You're number one, and two brothers from Canada. Appreciate you, man. I'm happy to hear that. If I was a betting man, I would bet big money on Rockhold for tomorrow. I'm picking Rockhold, Jeff, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Going out to watch the pay-per-view tomorrow with some friends. Might get drunk and donate 100 to you. We'll see. Dude, that'd be crazy. The biggest donation we've ever got was a $200 donation. I got a $200 donation one time. That is true love. Yes, it is. It's called Fight Night Picks. Is their channel. I feel you would enjoy there. I don't know. I think I might have seen it before, but I don't remember. But I hate how Chael talks. It's so slow on his YouTube videos. He trash talks so fast it don't make no sense. He's just drawing out the videos. He does 8-9 minute videos, an intro, outro, ad in the middle, and just talks in circles and really doesn't say much. Thoughts on Angela Hill getting paid more than Dominic Cruz? Absolute travesty. I feel like this is the most love Luke Rockhold has ever gotten. Maybe. Yeah, you're lucky. My ex hated MMA. People be ignorant of our sport. Fair enough. Crazy man, it's easy to find people at my job who talk about basketball or football, but not a single MMA fan. It's just struggle for real. Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who just don't have any friends that are MMA fans, and it's actually sad and it's unfortunate. So you can always join here. You can always join this community to talk MMA. So I gotcha. Appreciate you, my friend. Let me know. Hey, Joey, new to the channel, saw some of your videos. Keep up the great work. Excited to join in on some banter with your fellow community. Peace and blessings, my friend. Much love. Thank you, Tony. I'm happy to have you. I do streams every Wednesday, and I do a stream every Friday before a pay-per-view. So appreciate you. Happy to have you in our community. Doesn't YouTube take some money from your donations? Yes, they do. PayPal takes a slight bit. So PayPal takes less. So, but either way, I know YouTube's super convenient to donate. So if you want to donate via YouTube, feel free. If you want to donate via PayPal, the link is in the description. Either way, I'm just appreciative of it. Some of my mates despise MMA because the opponent can be punched on the ground. Lamau, so dumb. Yeah, that's so stupid. Who's the greatest journeyman? The greatest journeyman. I don't know. That's a good question. There's probably someone that I'm not thinking of right now that makes sense, but I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Let me clear this out. And also, I try to tweet out when I go live on streams. So if you don't follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MMA Joey C. At MMA Joey C. You can follow me there, and I usually tweet out when I go live as well. All I do, and also here, I'll show this off. I showed this off the other day. But my newest piece of MMA memorabilia right here. Boom. Look at this, guys. This is a Marlon Vera autograph. Look at that. Let me get the light out of the way. Look at that, guys. A Marlon Chito Vera autograph. I'm trying to get the light out of it, but I can't figure out which way to go. Look how sweet that is. Look at that. And look at that nice frame, too. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I showed that on the weekly live chat the other day, but I figured I'd show it again on stream. Joey, what do you think about the whole African reunion brother thing from 3 African champs? I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. My family's full of boxing fans. They think MMA is brutal and makes me so mad. They act like a cut in MMA is much worse than getting flatline KO'd in boxing. Yeah. I don't get it at all. I don't get it at all. People say, oh, they're just beating each other up. Well, what do you think goes on in football when they're practicing? They're hitting each other hard. They're getting concussions too. Are you interested in the Korean Zombie versus Calvin Kattar? Not really. Not really. I might do something like this in the future, but I don't know, man. It's just tough to do stuff like that. I'm really weird about implementing certain things. Is the future of the flyweight division? Yeah. Who did he just beat? He had a good win, but I can't remember who it was. That Cheeto finish is fire. Yeah, it's awesome to have it autographed. Eventually, I'm going to kind of orchestrate my office here, and we'll see. We'll see if I can get it behind me somehow. Cowboy was a pretty great journeyman, agreed, but he made it to the title. So was he really a journeyman? If Dustin beats Michael, should he get a title shot, or is it too early? If Dustin beats Michael, it depends who's the champion, but I think it's too early. I'm talking about Izzy, Usman, and Ngannou brotherhood. How do you feel about that? That is stopping Usman versus Izzy. Oh, I don't really care because there's plenty of people in the welterweight division to fight Usman anyway, and Adesanya is not going down. Honestly, I'm not convinced TJ used EPO at bantamweight. They tested it. Who knows? Who knows, dude? I'm convinced he did. I mean, Cody Garbrandt was calling it out on him for years before. I always suspected. TJ was one guy that I really suspected because the volume that he would put on guys in the late rounds. I wish I had a channel. Because I would have told you guys years in advance and I would have found a clip that I was like, someone would have said, if you had to guess one person's on steroids, who would it be? Or PEDs, not steroids. I would have said TJ Dillashaw. And it's just, the beatings and the volume that he was able to use in the 4th and 5th round of the Renan Barão fights was just unreal. Absolutely unreal. So I'm super suspicious of that. But it is what it is. We'll see. They did test all the samples, but I feel like if Zeev beats Gaethje, he should fight Charles Islam. Yes, that's the fight that I want to see, and I believe he does win. I was drawn to your channel because you appear to not delve into political topics like other MMA channels I see. So thank you for that. I honestly view MMA as my therapy and from the harsh realities of life. Dude, people who do that are so dumb. So dumb. I got a pair of signed gloves from Carlos Condit. Dude's a real one. Yeah, Carlos Condit was one of my favorite fighters to watch at one point in time. I think Mokaev is the future of flyweight. Mokaev definitely has a bright future, and he's still very young. How do you think Bo Nickel does against top 15 at middleweight? I think he gets trashed. I think he gets absolutely trashed. Yeah, I don't know who's he beating. Maybe Darren Till. It's hard to say where his skills are at. He's fought literally 2 trash cans. 2 literal trash cans. And people are acting like he's going to be competitive at the top 15. Do you think Bilal has a chance against Hamzat? Yes. I would pick Hamzat, but I think Bilal would have a chance. What advice would you give someone wanting to start doing MMA? I would definitely start with buying a bunch of Venom gear. And then I think you're pretty much set. But no, on a serious note, Niles, I'm going to have to answer your question on a serious note. Find a gym that trains in all aspects of MMA, an MMA gym, and start there. Start working, going to a gym, training jiu-jitsu, training boxing, hitting pads, stuff like that. Wrestling. I think that's the best advice you can get. I thought they tested Garbrandt piss and it came back as EPO. No. I feel like Cater versus Allen is the fight to make. I would love that. Beautiful. I'm just going to assume you're talking about me and not the autograph. I want to see Paul Craig run it back with Hill. Last fight wasn't a true win. I don't need to see that ran back. I became a member of the channel before even subscribing. Haha. Dude, and shout out to JJ Smoke. I called the Carla Esparza Weili Zhang fight at MSG a couple weeks ago before it was ever even talked about. And I was joking around on stream and I was saying sources are telling me this or that. And JJ Smoke clipped it because I remembered it, but I couldn't remember where it was. He not only clipped it and he sent it to me after the news broke. So shout out to JJ Smoke and thank you for being a member. If anybody else wants to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description, but you can also use this link as well. Become a member of the channel. It's $3 a month. And I would greatly appreciate it. I hope that's the right link. I think that's the right link. Yeah, it is. It is. So become a member. You get the loyalty badges next to your name. When the chats get crazy, like they probably will tomorrow, I'm more likely to answer your questions. You get to join the members Discord. You get custom emojis to use in the chat as well as the comments. So there you go. Look, I'll put some of the emojis. We got Nate Diaz emoji, Dana White emoji, Habib Nurmagomedov emoji, Sleepy Conor McGregor emoji, Joshua Fabia emoji, Hamzat Chimaev emoji, Luke Rockhold being KO'd brutally by Jan Blachowicz emoji, DC crying after his title loss to John Jones emoji, Sean O'Malley being stretchered out of the cage emoji, and Chris Curtis flipping off Jack Hermanson emoji. So there's all the emojis on the channel. Check them out. I remember the sources, but haha, that's too funny. I know. It wasn't even rumored at the time. I just guessed that fight. And maybe it was an educated guess, but it's just ironic that I guessed that fight and then it ended up getting confirmed like 2 weeks later. So hilarious. Hilarious that it happened. And I remembered it. As soon as the news came out, I remembered it, but I had no idea what stream it was in. So luckily JJ Smoke had the clip. And I posted it on Instagram if anybody's wondering. I posted it on Instagram. Let's see what this is going on here. Okay, stream analytics. Okay. We need a Vanderlei and Chael emoji. What do you mean by Vanderlei and Chael emoji? I can't let you get close. Prediction for that fight. What fight are we talking about here? Find a gym that you can really build your brotherhood with. Start BJJ and Muay Thai, if I had to say. There you go. Brandon's answering your question. My baby brother could have beaten the last guy Bo Nickel faced. There's nothing impressive in beating plumbers your whole career like Habib. That's not accurate about Habib, but point taken. Point taken. Guys, if you're watching the stream right now and you're not subscribed to the channel, double check and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Double check right now. We got 70 people in the stream and we actually have close to 70 likes. So there's that. There's that. I'm going to stay on stream. Right now it's showing me as like almost 1,000 views on the stream. I'm going to stay on stream till we get at least 1,000 views on the stream. So we'll see how that goes. Keep the questions coming, guys. I am super pumped for tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to UFC 270. I know the card as a whole isn't great, okay? I get it. It's not the greatest card ever. But the main card, specifically the main 3 fights is what I really mean to say, is really, really amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. And I'll be streaming it and watching it live with you guys. The side-by-side of Paddy Pimblett is unreal. I just seen the side-by-side of Paddy Pimblett and his weight. That's crazy. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I love watching MMA and want to start training at some point. There's a lot of great gyms out here in Vegas. There you go. There you go. Go join Chris Curtis's gym. I think his gym is in Vegas, if I remember correctly. It is. It is. Whaley and Esparza. Oh, I got Whaley easily. Whaley's going to brutalize. Carla Esparza. Badly. First round finish. I'm looking forward to watching the Whaley beatdown. UFC 278 or 277. 278 all day, every day. Do you see Zhang Weili brutally beating Carla? I think I just answered that question, Jordy. I didn't even see your message, but I already answered it. The answer is yes. Weili Zhang is going to beat the brakes off of Carla Esparza badly. What's up, Joey? The GOAT at covering MMA. Thank you. 278 looks goated compared to 279. Yeah. 278 looks like 280 in comparison to 279. Can you imagine that they're going to charge the same amount for 279 as they're going to charge for 280? What's your main reasons on why you think Aldo wins? I'm very confident that Aldo wins. Aldo, his entire career, has had great takedown defense, even against the elite wrestlers. Merab isn't even that. He's not like a Habib style wrestler. I mean, even some of the opponents that he took down, he couldn't even keep down. He couldn't even keep Cody Stamann down. You think he's going to get Aldo down and keep him down? Absolutely no way. Aldo will stuff the takedowns, and it's 3-round Jose Aldo. If this was a 5-round fight, I might lean towards Merab because Aldo might fade later defending all the takedowns, but no way, shape, or form is that going to happen. Aldo will defend the takedowns, and he will light Merab up on the feet. Jose Aldo is light years ahead of Merab on the feet. Merab's striking isn't even good. His best win is against Marlon Moraes, which he almost got stopped like 3 times in the first round. And had Marlon Moraes not gassed, Merab wouldn't have won that fight. So there's all my reasons. Chris is out here, isn't he? I got to check out his gym for sure. Yes. How much you bet on? I don't bet. So Dos Anjos versus Sarukian, who wins? I'll go Sarukian. Dos Anjos is just getting up there in age. Zhang will maul Esparza. I agree 100% for 100%. So Weili straight up had me shocked when she KO'd Joanna. That was brutal. If you haven't seen it, go look what she did to Jessica Andrade the first time she won the belt. Got old real quick. I agree. 279 will be top 3 low selling event. I hope nobody buys it. Thoughts on Zhang would do against Valentina? I think she'd be too undersized. Probably get picked apart from the outside. 279 is worth a solid 25. No, it's not. It's worth like $5. The catchy name Bo Nickel is the name that someone will be successful doing something. Yeah, that is a catchy name. Rose was gun shy in that fight. Maybe she could have still been champ if not. I think she definitely would have been champ if she continued to actually strike. Is Rose the best? Absolutely not. What are you doing if Carla out wrestles Zhang and then we get Rose Carla 2? Well, John Mundy, it would be Rose Carla 3, and that's not going to happen. They would probably give it to Marina Rodriguez before they gave it to Rose again. Great gyms over here, Michigan. My coach who trains my famous Muay Thai legend. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Who are you with, Usman or Edwards, Piotr versus Sean? I'm going Usman by decision and Piotr Jan by TKO. I feel like Luke Rockhold would have had an easier fight if he fought Brunson instead of Costa. Yes, for sure. He's coming back against the toughest challenge, which leads me to believe he's in the best shape of his life and he's ready to go. Can't believe Aldo is the underdog. That is just, I mean, I'm so confident in Aldo. Aldo's been the most confident pick I've had in a while. So he's the most confident I've been in a fighter in a while. Some way Esparza won twice. How Usman will win twice against Leon in their welterweight bout tomorrow. Some way Esparza won twice is how Usman will win twice. Yeah, I guess so. If Vettori somehow beats Whitaker, what's next for Vettori? He's not getting a title shot, I'll tell you that much. Probably fight the winner of Cannonier versus Strickland, maybe. What's amazing fights has Dana and his team been working on for 279? Probably Miranda Maverick. If Aldo wins, he gets a tight shot. I hope he gets a nice tight shot. Does Hamzat and Nate dirty saying they're worth 5? It's worth less than 5. I should be paid to watch it. Is Meatball Molly championship material? No. If Aldo wins and gets the shot, do you think he wins? And if yes, by what? Second round TKO. Yes, he wins. Yes, he gets a title shot. Is Shevchenko going to rematch Santos? That's the fight I want to see, but it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, and he's going to get brutally kneed in the face. I could see Aldo with a knee. I could see Aldo brutally KOing Merab with a knee in the same fashion that he KO'd Chad Mendez in their first fight with. How did you score the last fight? I scored it for Shevchenko, but I can't remember exactly what I scored it. I think we're going to see a fired up Aldo. I'm more excited to see his fight. Aldo is just an absolute savage. People forget how good he is for some reason. I don't get it. They just forget how good he is. He's absolutely amazing in every aspect, but cardio. 279 will not be a low seller. All the main events are 2 big names. The main event, I thought you said main events. Casual fans will buy. Yeah, it'll probably do all right. I don't think it's going to do great, but it'll be all right. If Charles becomes champ again and Pereira becomes champ, I'm going to be the happiest MMA fan ever. Yeah, I think Charles will become champ again. Molly has potential right now. Should get starts by Shevchenko. Agreed. The odds are horrible. That's why betting is dumb. It's a scam. Exactly. Who don't know shit about the sport making the odds. Yeah, it's always just a way to make money somehow or another. That's why I don't do it. Big fan. Nice to be a part of your come up. Thank you, Jason Perez. How do you feel about Nate getting into the later rounds and getting it done with the win? It's not going to happen, bro. The only way Nate wins is if Hamzat Chimaev injures himself, beating the living shit out of Nate Diaz. And I'm a huge Nate Diaz fan. I love Nate Diaz. But it's just we have to be connected to reality. People who think Nate Diaz will beat Hamzat Chimaev are disconnected from reality. I predict 279's top 3 sales of the year, if not number 1. I disagree with that 100%. Do you think Edwards is the best striker at 170? Is he the best striker at 170? Let me take a look. No. Wonder Boy is. I mean, Wonder Boy's a really good striker. Jeff Neal's a really good striker. I think Wonder Boy would outstrike Leon Edwards probably. But Leon Edwards is definitely up there for sure. Leon Edwards is a very good striker. Very technically sound. I think we're going to see how much heart Merab has. He's going to get the shit beat out of him for 3 rounds if he doesn't get finished. It's that damn 13-second loss to Conor. Don't even remind me. UFC 279 should be free like 267 was. I know. What sucks is there was supposed to be one extra event. 279 was supposed to be in September. 280 was supposed to be at the end of September or early October. And then we were supposed to get 281 was supposed to be the Abu Dhabi card. But I guess they realized they didn't have enough talent or whatever to fill out the cards. Hamzat Burns rematch. Who wins? Hamzat. 279 is top heavy. It's not even top heavy. It's just terrible overall. Colby versus Burns. Who wins? I probably go Burns. Masvidal versus Burns. Who wins? I probably go Burns. Don't even remind me, bro. I don't even want to think about it. What's next for Colby? I wanted to see him fight Hamzat Chimaev, but it looks like he's in witness protection. He's never returning to the sport, honestly. Jorge Masvidal brutally sucker punched him, and now he's done for. He's just done for. He's never coming back, it seems. UFC 267 was free. What the F? I could never imagine Dana doing that. Yeah, they did it because of like the cards were back to back. They weren't going to charge for 2 pay-per-views. And on top of that, you had Abu Dhabi paying a hefty fee to have those events there. Should UFC plan a backup if Nate pulls out? No, just cancel the event. It's garbage anyway. Who would you have in Ngannou versus Jones? I take John Jones. Friendly bet just to say I think Nate wins, and you're obviously... I don't know what you're trying to say at the end there. But if you think Nate wins, fair enough. I disagree. I think anybody saying Nate wins just likes Nate, and they're not actually connected to reality, and they don't actually believe it. Will Jones fight at 282? Maybe. I have a feeling he's not going to. Usman versus Hamzat. I am dying to see that fight. I'm going Hamzat. I think Hamzat could stuff the takedowns of Usman. It would all come down to the cardio of Hamzat. But I am dying to see that fight. I am dying to see that fight, and I hope it happens. I think Edwards would put the work on Masvidal if they fought. Yes, most likely. Yeah, I think Edwards would beat Masvidal. Joe, your commentary for Vettori versus Costa was awesome. You were so pumped for the entire fight. That was my favorite live stream. Yeah, I was hyped for that fight. I respect Masvidal for that. I want a Masvidal Kamaru trilogy. Bro's just trolling at this point. Colby's going to try and milk a settlement out of Jorge and come back like nothing happened. Dude's in witness protection. Dude's straight up in witness protection. Do you think Paulo Costa's on steroids? I have no evidence to believe such, but the body of Paulo Costa does seem like it doesn't pass the eye test. I'll leave it at that. But he could just be in great shape. It's hard to say. Cutting a lot of weight also. If it's interesting to see how the UFC uses, it is interesting how the UFC uses dynamic pricing. I bought my seats on the Fight Club pre-sale for $250, but then the prices increased $30 the week after. Now they are at $100 because sales were low. That's annoying as hell. Too bad you can't change and get your refund. Yeah, but they'll do that because they want to have a sellout. And half the time Dana says there's a sellout, and you can check and there's still tickets for sale. Who you picking, Jones? Stipe? Jones all day. It's a slap in the damn face to see what 279 card. Tired of people protecting Dana. Yeah, and the media is acting like it's a great main event. Oh my God, we got 2 big stars in the main event. It's going to be a great card. No, it's garbage. I hope Nate wins, but it's somehow going to be entertaining to see how... I think Nate's going to get brutally beaten. Conor versus Chandler. I would love to see that matchup. I'd probably pick Conor. I'm a newer fan. I'm excited to see Rockhold fight live. This is your first time watching Rockhold fight live. We'll see how he looks like. How he looks. That sounded weird. I hope Nate doesn't get any more CTE than he already... Oh, he's going to. That's the whole goal. UFC 279 should just be called Diaz CTE. What's next for Mearshart? Probably spelled it wrong. He looked good ever since lost to Hamzat. I don't know. I don't think he's ever going to be a top 15 guy, to be quite honest. So I'd have to look, and I'm not sure who would make sense right now. Usman versus Conor, Nate in one night. Who wins? Usman. Paulo's on the secret juice. I feel like John Jones will beat up anybody, period. Your thoughts, my friend? I'm with you on that. Is there any fighter John Jones fights you won't favor John Jones? Probably not. John Jones, just from watching him throughout his career, he always fights to the perceived level of threat of his opponent. And it just seems like he's always stepping it up each and every time he fights a super dangerous opponent. So until I see him completely fall off a cliff, then probably not. Do you think Khabib will shake hands with Charles if Charles finishes his arm? 100%. Dana says they sell out every event. Yeah, true. Joe, what's the next UFC event you're going to? I don't know. I'd love to go to 280 in Abu Dhabi, but I'm probably not. Stuff's just too expensive. And then all the travel, it's like, who really has time for that? Yo, Joey, what's up? If Jones never tested positive, he would be the GOAT. Agree. Yo, Joey, what's up? Sorry I'm late. 6 a.m. here. We talked a bit on IG yesterday. Appreciate you coming, man. Appreciate you coming. The real Nate fans don't want 929 to happen. Nate, wait. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Andy. Nate's best chance is if Hamzat gets wild and tries to brawl on the feet, which I don't think will happen. I think it will happen, actually. I think Hamzat will brutalize him on the feet as well. I think Hamzat will brutalize Nate Diaz on the feet, but I think it doesn't matter. Nate's not going to rock him with his power. No, it's just not going to happen. Nate has a great chance, without a doubt, getting KO'd in the later rounds. I think he gets smashed, TKO'd in the first round, unless Hamzat's carrying him. And then in that case, I probably see a second or third round doctor stoppage. On my way to work, Joey, I'll be listening for the next 30 minutes. Besides you, are you going to be with us for the stream tomorrow night? Let me know. How hyped are you for the Paris card? We actually talked about it earlier in the stream. And it's a great card. Kevin Holland versus D-Rod is a fun fight for the MSG card. Wonderboy should retire. Yeah, I don't even care to watch Wonderboy fight anymore. Leon Edwards will shock the world tomorrow. On a suspect of sellout, I went to Gone Francis, which Dana called us out, and there was a couple sections not sold. Yeah, every time he says that, there's always tickets available. I saw that Jones versus Gus ones, and I think it was mid. I think it's because maybe you didn't see it live. It was different live. It felt different live. With my family, I'm sadly going to miss 278. Kind of wish I was missing 279. Said, that sucks, bro. That sucks. Jones' resume is still nuts. I agree. Is Darren Till overrated? He's always been overrated. Moreno versus Figgy 4. Who do you have? I'm taking Moreno all day. I don't think Rockhold has a bad chin. He's getting hit with huge punches, leaving it. Yes, I said that. I said that in my prediction video. I said I think it's more of a defensive irresponsibility issue, and also the fact that getting punched by guys like Jan Blachowicz and Yoel Romero, it's not, you're not going to be able to survive those punches. The shots that put out Rockhold from Yoel and Yan would pretty much KO anyone. Kai Kara France versus Royval 2. Who do you got? I'll take Royval. I like Royval. I think he's very good. I think he's underrated. And he the sense of urgency, that's his biggest strength, the sense of urgency from Brandon Royval. Yes, I'll be there, boys. Appreciate you, man. Did you see I think you saw the thumbnail I posted. I got a new thumbnail for the watch along. UFC Paris is 10 times better than 279. We actually talked about this exact instance earlier tonight. Jones versus Gus 1 was one of the best fights I've ever seen. Yeah, I agree. It was a great fight. It was a great fight. But I think some people who hear all the hype around it and then go back and watch it not knowing the circumstances is the reason that it doesn't seem as good to them. All right, guys, we're going to go for a little bit longer. We're probably going to make this at least a 3-hour stream, okay? Like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to the channel. We've had nothing but $20 donations tonight. Actually, I'm lying. Then we got a bunch of $20 donations tonight. So if you want to contribute to paying for my UFC 278, which has already been contributed to quite a bit, feel free to donate to the channel for a 3-hour stream. Don't forget to like the stream. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And if you're here tonight, make sure you join me for my live stream tomorrow during UFC 278. I'll be live streaming the entire pay-per-view main card. I will be here answering questions, giving my reaction. And then, even if you don't want to watch, my eye's itching. Even if you don't want to watch the main card with me, immediately after my live stream for the main card, I'll be doing a pay-per-view post-fight stream. So I'll be doing that live stream as well. So you can join me after the fights. And so I'll be live for like 4 hours tomorrow. So I'm live for 3 hours tonight. I'll be live for 4 hours tomorrow. Okay. Would you rather see Hamzat versus Usman or Hamzat or Khabib versus Olives? That is actually a really tough one. That's a really tough one. I'll say Khabib versus Olives. Now I'll say Hamzat versus Usman because we're getting Olives versus Islam, kind of like a Family Dollar version of Khabib. So you think the Bisping knockout Luke was a fluke? No. If you look at that left hand, the way he threw that left hand would have KO'd anyone. I mean, Bisping ripped it from all the way back here and it hit Luke right on the tip of the chin. So that KO landed on anyone else from Bisping would have put him out too, I think. Do you think Conor could still? No. Is 280 gone on sale yet? I believe. Just for fun, I would know what the minimum entrance fee would be between the ticket, flight, hotel. Why don't you figure out that math, Flight Life, and then let me know. I'm curious. Jones outclasses Gus in the rematch. Yes, he did. Amir Albazi sub plus 420. I think I might have picked him by sub. Is that why you're telling me that? Is that why you're telling me? No, I picked Albazi by decision. I'm sorry. Never mind. I lied. Where was I at? Jones versus Reyes was a classic, in my opinion. Great fight. Reyes, everyone's career goes downhill after fighting John Jones. Can Conor even go back to 55? I don't know. I just started watching UFC like a year ago, and I'm getting to see some of the legends fight, but 9 out of 10 times they're losing. Yeah, that sucks. Joe, who's your favorite fighter right now? Probably Jose Aldo, honestly. Home versus Nunes, too. Who do you got, Nunes? Gus made John look human. Before that, he was superhuman. Yes, and a lot of people didn't even think Gus even deserved a title shot. Do you think Kelvin Gastelum can make it back to the top? I think he still is at the top, even though he's not ranked as such. I thought he beat Cannonier. So, yes, I will say yes. But the division's got some tough matchups for him. And he's always taking tough fights. He's taking short notice fights as well. So, it's one of those things. Had a feeling you were on. I've been on for 3 hours, man. Check the Discord next time. Luke's chin will be tested. Yeah, we'll see how it looks. Now, Usman versus Hamza can wait. We need to see who's the go-to lightweight. Yeah. Ken Edwards is winning tomorrow. I can feel it. Why do I feel like this is a troll? Why do I feel like this is a troll? But happy birthday to your sister. In my opinion, the unified rule set helps grapplers, basically restricting strikers, defending takedowns, such. Pride rules would massively help situations like stalling during a fight. Maybe. I just don't know how it would affect it. And for me, I'm always like, I'm very leery to change in general. So, do you want to see Jermaine Demine fight again? No. I think Islam's more technical than Habib. But Habib has better takedowns, better ground and pound, and amazing pressure. If Conor hypothetically could make 45, how does he do against the top 15? I don't even know what that would look like. I can't even answer that question, but he would lose the Volk for sure. He would lose the Max for sure. He would gas out. I get the reasoning, but Habib retired way too fast. I agree. Before Gus, John was going through the previous 205 legends, dominated Shogun Rampage. Yeah, he dominated multiple eras of fighters. Snack time, English muffin with cream. Okay. Joe, do you have a Tim Hortons coffee in Maryland? I don't think so. I've been out. Well, shame on you, VT. Top 3 best fights you've seen. Mine is Glover, Yuri, Hamzat, Burns, Bonner, Griffin. Glover, Yuri's up there. Hamzat, Burns is up there. Jones, Gus 1 is up there. I really enjoyed John Lineker versus Francisco Rivera. Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa was very good as well. There's other ones that I just can't think of right now. I'm getting tired a little bit here. But watch Costa versus Yoel if you haven't seen it. Go watch Francisco Rivera versus John Lineker if you haven't seen it. I'm trying to think of another fight. Tony Ferguson versus Lando Venata was pretty crazy. I'm trying to think of like underrated ones that nobody talks about is what I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think. I'll have to get back to you on that one. What was your prediction for Maverick Shayna Young? I would have took Maverick probably by submission or decision. I'm mad I never got to see Habib fight. That's crazy, and that does suck. Rockhold versus Costa isn't spoke about enough, I'm not going to lie. I'm super pumped for it, and I think a lot of people are really excited for it. The numbers that I've been seeing get posted around, most people are watching the like lead-up videos for that, like the countdown videos more than anything else. Ankalaev versus Hill, who do you got? I got Ankalaev. Just the grappling was probably going to be too much. Izzy Gastelum as well. Yep. High altitude will take a toll on Leon's stamina. Usman will stop him in the 4th. That's what I said earlier. I said if it's not a decision, I see Usman stopping him in the 4th via ground and pound. I feel like Gaethje's one-trick pony, in my opinion. Maybe. I can't wait to see him against Fiziev. Chandler Gaethje was a good fight, underrated. It wasn't underrated. Yeah, it was a great fight. 3rd round was garbage, though. Chandler versus Oliveira is one of my favorite fights as well. I'm trying to think of older ones. Let me go list of UFC events. Let's see. Oh, I know one. Kung Lee versus Vanderlei Silva. And let me see what card that was on. Kung Lee versus Vanderlei Silva. Oh, I got the fight you need to watch, JJ Smoke. I know what it is. You need to go watch. This is the most underrated fight of all time. I remember how amazing this fight was. Go watch Vanderlei Silva versus Brian Stan. Vanderlei Silva versus Brian Span. You also need to watch. Let's see if I can find it real quick. It was on the same Kung Lee Vanderlei Silva card. UFC 139. You need to watch Shogun versus Dan Henderson. I know they fought multiple times. I think that was the first time they fought. Shogun versus Dan Henderson. I believe it's one, but it's on UFC 139 back in 2011. That was an amazing one. But go watch Vanderlei Silva versus Brian Stan. That was amazing. Where was I at? I feel like Gaethje's okay. Chandler, Gaethje, Dan Hooker versus Dustin Poirier was underrated. Dan Hooker versus Dustin Poirier was amazing. Go back and watch that if you haven't. Yes, that was a good one. Dan Henderson versus Shogun. Yes, that's what I was talking about. UFC 139. That was a crazy fight. Gilbert Melendez, Diego Sanchez was crazy. I agree, but it was a one-sided beatdown, and then Diego just rocked him in the third round, so it wasn't that great of a fight, really. But it was crazy. I remember flipping out watching it. Who's next for Volkanovski? Probably Josh Emmett, if not the winner of Oliveira Islam. I think Luke Rockhold's striking ability is top 5 quality, but the thin glass chin makes him very vulnerable. Yeah, Nate versus, I think you're saying Diaz versus McGregor too. If Sugar Sean gets beaten, do you think Sugar will continue to be undefeated? For sure. He'll say it was a fluke somehow. Max versus Jair was a good fight. Yes, it was. Jair versus Emmett happens. I'll say yes. What's up, Thomas? I used to love Izzy, but the last performances had me. Yeah, it was terrible. The last performances were straight up garbage. Do you remember who it was in a Crazy People prelim super bloody match? The guy won a bonus. Raphael something. I know it's a bad description. Was this recently? I think I remember one recently. Wasn't that against Drew Dober, maybe? It was a crazy fight, but I don't remember it being bloody. Super bloody match. The guy won a bonus. Raphael something. I think it's a bad description. You're going to have to give me more details. McGregor Diaz 2 was unreal. Fiziev finishes Justin. His chin is cooked. I would pick Fiziev as well. I think I'd pick Fiziev over Oliveira as well. Was Kung Lee the fat Asian? Yeah, but he got on roids and got jacked. So, Robbie Lawler versus Rory McDonald. That's one of my favorite fights as well. Piotr Jan, Corey Sandhagen was my favorite fights of last year. I did a top 5 favorite fights of the year last year. And that was number 1 on the list. Lawler McDonald has got to be one of the best fights I watched. Nate Diaz, Michael Johnson was a banger too. It was like a one-sided win for Nate, if I remember. Michael Johnson, Justin Gaethje was great too. Also, Gaethje versus Alvarez. Go watch Justin Gaethje versus Eddie Alvarez. Both of them were good. Joey, can you tell Giselle to get back with me, please? All right, come on, dude. Nick Diaz, BJ Penn. That was a one-sided beatdown. Figgy Moreno 1 was great. It's hard to think of great fights before the Reebok era. They just don't come to mind straight away. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. Off the top of my head, when I'm tired, I can't think of a lot of them. We're almost to the 3-hour mark, guys. Yeah, recent fight like in the last year, Raphael fight, super bloody. I cannot remember. Search Raphael UFC bloody fight. I'll tell you right now. Let's see. Yeah, that doesn't come up. I don't know. Someone in the chat might know. Where were we at? Think Rafael Dos Anjos is still a contender? No. Do you think Usman, Volk, Olives, Adesanya as a double champ? Best case scenario would be Volk. Can't forget about Izzy Gastelum either. Yes, that was a crazy wild fight. Kung Lee knocked out Rich Franken so badly, Rich retired. He didn't move for like 5 minutes. Yeah, Kung Lee got on steroids. It was clear as day. I mean, he was like a chubby guy, and the next thing you know, he was jacked Alistair Overeem style. Johnson looked good in his next fight. What's next for Michael Johnson? No idea. Maybe Bobby Green? Michael Chandler versus Benson Henderson. That wasn't a great fight. I don't remember. Sandhagen versus TJ was good. Yes, it was. Usman said he doesn't want to go up a challenge, is he? Nick Diaz versus Paul Daly is a classic. I've actually never seen that fight. That co-main event of Vera Cruz had me clapping and smiling. That was a great one. Let's do a marathon and go until the prelims tomorrow. Stop it. Stop it. We're almost at the 3-hour mark. Look, I'll go 3.5 hours, but someone's got to send another $20 super chat. I'm going to sell myself. I'm going to sell myself right now because it's getting late. It's almost 1 a.m. I've been sitting in this chair for 3 hours now. So if somebody wants to do it, if not, we're going to go for like another 5-10 minutes anyway. Can't find it? Someone will probably help you find it. Leon, unanimous decision? Yeah. Nope. Usman, unanimous decision. 24-hour stream, 1K dono. It's not. I can't do it. I'd die. Let's get it going. If Aldo wins, how would he do it? TKO. How would he do versus Aljo? I think he beat Aljo. Sarukian versus Gamrot, one of my favorite fights of the year. That was a great fight for sure. It was a great fight. Billy Q versus Shane Burgos was an amazing fight as well, and it gets forgotten about. It gets forgotten about because Gaethje versus Chandler was right before. If Aldo wins, how would he versus Aljo? Yeah, he would beat him. He would beat him unless he really gassed out and got taken down in later rounds and finished. Tony Ferguson, Anthony Pettis was an amazing bloodbath. Yes, it was. Joey battling the fatigue for the channel. What a king. Yeah, and after this, I'm going to schedule the live stream for tomorrow so you guys can set a reminder. UFC letting Burgos go was the worst mistake they ever made in a long time. To be honest, I don't really care all that much. I'm going to be honest with you, VT. He was never going to fight for a title. We can go watch him in PFL, and hopefully he wins $1 million. Who is the most considered fighter? I don't even know what that means. Joe, you're the man. That's all I need to say. Good night. Good night, Machine Gun Kelly, a.k.a. Noah. Chito Vera versus Davey Grant. That was a great fight as well. Can Leon beat Usman in a Yair Rodriguez situation, elbow out of nowhere? Very doubtful. Very, very doubtful that would happen. But you never know. Joe, do you think anyone is better than TJ right now at 135? Jan. I think Jan is better. No, Connor will never be the champ again. Calvin Kattar versus Giga in January was a banger. Yeah. Yeah, and wasn't that his picture? Look at his picture. Is that not who that is? Gon versus Tuivasa, who you pissing? Who you pissing? That's how tired I am. Gon versus Tai Tuivasa, who are you picking? That's an easy one. And you misspelled Gon, by the way. So you threw me off with that too. I'm going Gon. I'm going Gon for sure. Sad to see Burgos go, but I'm happy he's getting paid. Agree. How did you score the Vera versus Udon? I don't even remember. It's been so long, I don't remember. Think Usman goes to his grappling again? For sure. For sure. Joey, who's the most conceited fighter? I have no clue. That's got to be a McGregor troll. Gon should dominate, in my opinion. Yeah, I think Tai Tuivasa has to try to KO him, and Gon's just going to pick him apart like he picked apart Derek Lewis, basically. That's the way it's going to go. Do you think Dustin will ever be champ again? Probably not either. Dustin's time is come and gone, I think. But will O'Malley ever be stretchered? Will ever be stretchered to be a UFC champion with no serious injury? No. No, I don't think so. Average in shape 20-year-old male versus Amanda Nunes at her best. Amanda Nunes then. Connor's the most conceited. Fair enough. Think Edwards' wrestling improvements will be enough to deal with it? No, I don't think he has the cardio to deal with the pace. That Kamaru Usman will put on him. I just don't see it at all. I want McGregor to come back, but I know it won't happen. Dude's been retiring and unretiring for years, so he'll probably come back and fight Diego Sanchez after begging for the fight, and then say that he's ready for a title fight afterwards. Should have been Gon versus Aspinall and Ty versus Blades. I agree. Most disliked fighter, maybe Tony Kelly. I don't know. Machado versus Couture was a classic as well. Front kick to the face. I remember seeing that. O'Malley doing lots of media ahead of the on fight. Sure enough, he's trying to promote himself. He's got a big fight coming up. All right, guys. I think I'm going to get out of here. We went live for over 3 hours for the pre-fight stream. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Listen, I'm going to be back for a UFC 278 live stream for the entire main card. We will get to watch Jose Aldo versus Merab Dvalishvili together. We will get to watch Luke Rockhold versus Paulo Costa together. We will get to watch Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards together. And we will also, the most anticipated fight on the card, we will get to watch Tyson Pedro versus Harry Hunsucker live together tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll probably be live a little bit before that. But tomorrow, the first ever pay-per-view live stream on the channel. Tomorrow, live for the fights. Join me then. I'm going to schedule it on the channel as soon as I end this stream. And then also tomorrow, immediately following that stream, I'll be going live for a post-fight stream for UFC 278. So I appreciate all of you guys for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't liked the stream yet, do me a favor and like it before you leave. If you donated, if you were one of the many people who donated tonight, I greatly appreciate you. If you're watching this right now and you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you even doing? Go subscribe to the channel before you leave. And I think that pretty much does it. I think that wraps it up. Everybody enjoy the rest of their night, and I will see you guys tomorrow for UFC 278. I'm really looking forward to it. Appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.